Greetings audience, and welcome to Landa. This is a Minecraft survival world that I've created in 2020, and I've been playing it for about 4 years now. I've had it backed up for that long. Now these are the mods that I'm using on the screen. All of the mods that I'm using are mostly just for performance optimizations because I play on a potato PC. I try not to make any other modifications to the game that will affect gameplay too much, aside from the combat mod, because I just prefer the old combat system. But if you prefer, I can turn it off. It's just that I prefer the old combat system, and I also changed it to that because on Bedrock Edition it's different, and sometime in the future they do plan on changing the combat for both versions of the game. So that's the main reason why it is that I kept it like that. Now this world has been around 4 years. I haven't been playing for 4 years straight on it, so this is not, you know, like 4 years of just logging on every single day. There are times that I took breaks from it. But I figured, you know, and the world isn't mostly completed. You know, it's still a work in progress, and by the time you guys get this video, there's still going to be a lot of work to be done. But I figured that now would be the right time, and well, it's been 4 years, so it's gone through quite a bit of progress in that time. The world started out in 1.16.5, that's the first version that the world was created in, and it was only, I think, recently converted to 1.20, and now it's in 1.21. So I've been waiting a long time to make a video like this. I've been sort of kind of teasing it a little bit here and there, especially with you know, the different parts of videos where it is that I explored the new caves and cliffs update, especially the big ones. So here it is. This is Landa, like I said, and well, I'll just take you through everything bit by bit, you know, one at a time. Don't really want to rush things too much. So right now, where we are is my bedroom. This is pretty much the place that we just started at, and I'm just gonna leave it at night. But you know, usually I don't even sleep in this world. I mean, sometimes I do, but I usually don't sleep because I have to kill the phantoms and collect their membranes and stuff. So yeah, this is the room right now. The texture pack that I'm using, in case you're wondering, is the medieval resource pack called Excalibur. So some of you may know it, some of you may not, but I use Excalibur, and yeah, it's mainly because of the lighting and the textures that, you know, it changes everything for the torches and that sort of thing. So this is where you start out in, and well, in this chest you have some music discs, right? So not too shabby myself. And then I think this is a poster. I'm not sure if this is a banner, I should say, either a banner or a painting or something. And well, it looks very, very, very different in vanilla, as you can imagine, but it doesn't really look as good as what you see here. So although it does lag my PC, I mean, I can turn on the render distance if you want, but it does lag my PC. Now over here, this is the living room, I guess you'd call it, or the entrance to my house, I should say. Here we have a music box or note box or something. Can play some music, but you know, I don't want to get copyrighted. In fact, I might actually turn that music off a little bit just in case, because sometimes you can get copyright struck for that, by idiots, of course, who aren't Mojang. So here we have my wolves, or dogs, and these guys, I actually found a couple of them, you know, quite a distance away. I can't really remember exactly where I found them, but it was a long time ago. I mean, I've had these dogs for 4 years, and yeah, I mean, I do feed them occasionally, every once in a while. So yeah, this here is my computer. says Trico's laptop computer. You can install malware. Just don't read my browsing history. And there's my mouse. You know, I was wondering if there was a way to try to make it have like a keyboard aside from using a pressure plate, but I think this is fine. Instead, I used sort of like a half-stone slab to make it look like it's one of those desks that's stuck onto the wall. And there's just a random crafting table here, which I didn't even need to put that there, but it's there. They just put a sign here that says, who do you think you're looking at? And angry face. So, alright, so now we're gonna get into the big stuff. So as you can see, this is the main, I guess you should say this is the living room. Now down here, this is, I'm not really sure what you call this area, but it's sort of like the lounge. And here we have the incinerator, along with some decorations. I might actually put some more stuff around here, I'm not entirely sure, but here you have some decorations. And if you go into this room, it says, there's actually before that, we have the big television, along with some bookshelves here, just to kind of make it look a little fancy, a little modern. So here, we have choose from any channel, we have cable and streaming. Time limit 2 hours, no watching past midnight except football, because you gotta make sure you gotta try to squeeze in the FIFA World Cup whenever that happens. So of course football is one of those things. I'm not the biggest football fan, but I do watch it occasionally. Now this thing here, I can't remember what this is that I put over here for some reason. This might have been, I don't know, this might have been just been a painting or something, but I put that in there. Here we have one of my other dogs. Now the story behind why I call this dog Hades and why it is that, as you can see, he has sort of a black collar unlike the other two, is because whenever it is that I bred these two, I fed these two on accident. And I forgot to make them sit. So what ended up happening is they just ended up, obviously they ended up breeding, and then they sort of kind of created, they sort of created Hades from that. That's kind of how it is that, why it is that he exists here. So he's just kind of been sitting over here as his punishment, just forced to watch, everything that's in this room. I do feed him sometimes, but it's usually rotten flesh. Now this here, press this button, and you have a dispenser that shoots it out, and it shoots out raw beef. Previously it was pork chops, but I decided to not feed them pork chops for reasons that I would disclose right away. So here, this is where you find raw beef, and yeah, this is my bed, and this is a random bush. So that's pretty much all that you have to this room. I mean, the texture pack makes it look a little different, but the floor is also made out of stone brick. So it's supposed to look a lot fancy, but because of the texture pack, it's like this is cobblestone and this is stone brick. So it kind of blends well, in case you can't tell. But anyway, I mean, I can change the resource pack to the default if you need me to. But now this here is my son Technoblade. Technoblade, I'm sure that you've heard the name at least once. He was a young content creator, and so he passed away, I think it was only 2 years ago at this point. And although some time has passed, I do remember him. I never watched him growing up myself, but I did hear about him briefly before he passed away. I think it was through a reaction of when one of the characters in Minecraft Story Mode passed away or something. Like I saw a video of him recommended, and that's the only time that I heard of Technoblade. I don't think I heard of him before that, but I found a name tag and called this pig like right outside of my house or something, and I just decided to lead him inside with a carrot and inside of this room so that he doesn't go anywhere. And yeah, I just call him Technoblade. I wish there was something that Mojang did or some resource pack did that would actually change, like put like a crown on his head or something to pay tribute, but it's whatever. Now, in case you are wondering, by the way, if I ever cheated in this world, and it is a survival world, every single thing that you see in front of you has been mined and placed by hand. It is completely survival. Now, I have cheated in this world before. I did go into creative mode whenever it is that I died. I think it was back in like 2020 or something. This is a long time ago. I don't really do this anymore. But back a few years back, I did go into creative mode, maybe like once or twice, to actually get some of my items back, because I was just so far away from home. I traveled quite a long distance, and like I ended up, I just didn't feel the need to have to run back there in survival mode, especially because, you know, I was lacking in so many resources at the time. So I did go into creative mode to get my items back. But every single thing that you see here, and you are about to see in the video, has been mined, collected by hand, and placed by hand. But in case you need all the proof that this is a legitimate world, let me see if I can find it. These are all the stats that you can see here, so at least you'll know it's also legit. But there is, let me show you. Yeah, I think there's number of deaths, and I've died 45 times. This number is actually supposed to be higher, just because I died several times, but it's just that I always try to back up my world. So each time that I die, you know, instead of having to go back and collect some things, I usually just back up from the last place that I was. But not all of the deaths were backed up either. I mean, when I say that they're not backed up, they're not always, I don't back up my worlds right before I die and then just go to an old save file. Sometimes I do just, you know, I do actually take it. So that's all the proof that you pretty much need. But other than that, you have the other stats. So you have sneak time, 5 hours. I don't really pay attention to this tab too much, but yeah, there's all my stats. So in case you're wondering if it's a legit survival mode, there you go. But I have cheated in the world before, mainly to just fly over, and that's really it. Like, everything else is just complete total survival. Now here, I just have some water. I thought it would look kind of cool. Just have some water in the shape of a cross, kind of, and place some red carpets here, just to kind of make it look cool. I don't really know what I was trying to do here, but I just thought it would look cool. Here's the incinerator, and when you go here, you got our, I think this is the smithing, I'm not sure what you call it, a smithing station? I can't remember the actual name of the block. But you guys have seen this in the videos that I have released, if it is that you actually watched this far. And there's also a painting up here in case you can't tell, but this is the storage room. This is where you can find every single thing. Now, in the videos that I've released recently, this ladder was not here, so I'll be going into that in the rest of this video. But this ladder was not here. This is the storage room, and in here there's actually some fish swimming around. I think I'm not sure if it's salmon or cod or something in there, but there's a couple of fishes or fish in there, just kind of laying around. I need to go and collect some more. I did use a bucket. I actually traveled out there in the world and used a bucket like I have in my hotbar right now, and just scooped them up and then took them in here. It was kind of hard to do, but I just have to break the glass block, right click in there, and then just quickly place a glass block down here. So anyway, but yeah, this is the storage room. So here we have snow, we got uncommon resources, rare resources. I'll actually go into each of the chests one at a time. So this is snow that I collected from a mountain that's not too far away from the house. It is some distance, but it's not too far away. Right now this is an empty chest. I might put more snow in there or something. Here we have uncommon resources. So you have skeleton bones, so drops from skeletons, leather from cows, ink sacs from killing squids. These are the phantom membranes from, like I said, I don't really sleep a whole lot in the world, so that's why I have like an entire stack. Flint, got a lot of that from, I think it's yeah, it's from mining gravel or something, if that's the right word. Just digging gravel and getting the drops from it. You got spider eyes, feathers from chicken, string, usual. And I think up here is rare resources, and as you can see, a whole hecking lot of diamonds. A whole hecking lot. I could certainly get a lot more than that. I've been trying to complete the cave that has been well, the cave that you've actually seen, the new Minecraft caves as of the Caves and Cliffs update, I've been trying to complete that cave, but it's just so massive. So like, I managed to get a lot of diamonds down there as well. Got some emeralds. I can't remember how it is I got these exactly. These might have been from a village. I really cannot remember. Some of them I probably mined them too, who knows. And there we got some slime balls. Well, I have videos of there being slimes spawning in the caves. We got some ender pearls because I'm always going hunting for enders or endermen. Here we have some clay. Went out to collect some clay. Empty chest. And this is pretty much where I put all the wood and stuff. So there's a couple of birch trees that exist outside of the house. So here I collect the birch logs. We got some oak, dark oak, I should say. I can't remember how I got the dark oak. It might have been like, some of these trees might have spawned right outside of my house, or I might have done some planting. I don't really know, but we got spruce, oak leaves, which I collected with shears, and got some saplings. I'm definitely going to have to replant some of this stuff. And the rest of the things are pretty much just, wooden things. So yeah, the bookshelves, which I made using leather and wood, crafting table, rails. Some of these I collected these rails in dungeons, but I also crafted some of them. Actually, I can't remember crafting a single one. I might have just found most of them from mine shafts, actually. But most of these are probably from like mine shafts, or if it's not from that, it's probably from a dungeon chest or something. Now here we have the toolbox and armory. All of the items that you're seeing in here and also in here, these are like most of these, like the gold armor, especially gold enchanted, are just drops from mobs, because I do play this game always in hard mode. Now I don't play hardcore. I would like to try out hardcore at some point, but I do play this in this world on hard mode, and in most of my worlds I always try to play it in hard mode, because I just like the feeling of difficulty. I mean, obviously, if you're backing up your worlds like me, it probably doesn't really matter a whole lot, but the reason that I always ensure to back up my worlds is because I don't want to lose all my progress, especially after 4 years. So I always back up my worlds every single day, and even whenever it is that I do like a major activity, so if I go mining or going hunting for supplies through a cave or something like that, after several hours I usually make sure to back up. But sometimes, even if I'm doing a trivial or a minuscule activity, I always make sure to just create a copy of the world, rename it, and then just to not to confuse myself, and then I back it up. And I also make backups on Google Drive and on my flash drive as well. So if you're wondering if the world has been backed up, don't worry. I always make sure to do that. I do this with other games too, like Dark Souls and stuff especially. So I make sure to never lose my world, because my computer already had it already went through a lot of life support back in the year 2022 when I first got it. And again, this is a potato PC, so but I had a lot of issues where the hard drive was corrupt, and this is a refurbished PC, so I always try to make sure I back up my stuff. It's inconvenient. It's tedious to have to do that every time, because you have to upload the file to the internet every time. But it's worth it. It's definitely worth it, because I do plan to get a new PC eventually and move over to that, and it'll be a whole lot of a better experience than what you see here. So here we have the toolbox and armory, and we got a diamond pickaxe that I haven't enchanted for whatever reason. We got some iron pickaxes, which I did enchant, but I put them in the chest over here, because I think that whatever it is I decided to do, I decided to preserve these and just use regular iron pickaxes for now, because they just die so quickly. Even with the unbreaking enchantment on it, they just die so quickly, and I want to save them. I want to preserve them for as long as possible, so that's why I have that. The diamond pickaxe, I've had this a long time now. I can't remember how long I've had it, but I've had it for quite some time, and it was mainly to mine obsidian to get an enchantment table, so that I can actually do these enchantments here, as well as other resources and stuff. I think I also mined it to I think I made a diamond pickaxe for other purposes as well. I'm not entirely sure, or unless it was just mainly for obsidian. But it was for an enchantment table, and also to build a nether portal. Now, I haven't done much exploration in the Nether just yet, so I will not be showing that in this video. Once again, this world is only 4 years old, and a lot of things, again, I haven't been uploading, or I haven't been playing in the world every single day. You know, I'm just kind of, whenever it is I'm in the mood, I would hop on the game and just play it for hours on end, you know, in preparation for this video, of course, but pretty much that's what it is I did. I just, I mined some obsidian. I have a nether portal out there. Now, I think, if I recall correctly, I do remember exploring a bit of the nether, but I don't think I really went too deep into it because I was so scared, and I wasn't even that prepared and everything. So that's why I've been saving all of these gold armor, is so that whenever it is I do go to the nether, I'm definitely going to have to wear some stuff, because there are some zombie piglins and whatever other tribes of zombie stuff things that you're going to find in there, zombie monstrosities. So here we have iron, and all of this has been collected by hand. Like I said, once again, everything has been done in survival mode. The only times that I cheated in this world was when I went into creative mode back in like 2020 or 21 or something, or somewhere around that timeline, and that's when I had to fly over and collect my items. It's because I do everything in survival, so that's the only time that I cheated. But I've never, I don't think I ever spawned any sort of crap like in the world. I don't think I spawned a single thing, like a single resource that really matters or anything. This includes diamonds or iron or anything like that. The only time I cheated was when I went into creative mode. I just flew over, grabbed my stuff, and then just continued exploring the cave or whatever it is that I was in at that time. So that was the only thing, but that was, you know, a long time ago. Now I just back up the world from where I last saved in hopes that, you know, I don't do that. That might still constitute as cheating, but honestly, I don't really think it's that big of a deal compared to going to creative mode. I'd rather play in survival mode and back up than go in creative mode. So here we have our food storage. We got some more raw beef, cooked mutton from some of the sheep that I've been killing, some chickens, because I got a chicken farm, bread, which some has been collected from dungeons, others have been made by hand. I don't really think I need to go too much into this. I mean, oh yeah, I think it was actually just today I decided to, I don't really do a whole lot of fishing, but I decided to try out the fishing mechanics, and these are the fish that I managed to catch so far. I actually haven't really gotten too many drops other than pretty much one rotten flesh, and there's a water bottle in here. These are like the only 2 drops that I got from fishing that were different from actual fish itself. So I just fishing is just not one of those things that I do. I try to spend my time doing other things. I try to be more productive, or you know, use my time better in that way rather than just fishing. But I thought I would try it out, and I certainly might actually do a lot more, because I think if I understand correctly, fish might restore more health than, you know, things like beef and just raw meat in general. I think it might actually restore a lot more health. So I don't know. Besides the puffer fish, of course, you probably don't want to do that unless you do, and, you know, risk that. Pretty much risk heart disease or cancer or something. I don't really know. So here we have decorative blocks, and this is just some sand, so I can make sandstone, or if I want to, for whatever reason that I didn't put it back there, but if I want to make sand or glass or whatever, I can just come to this chest and put it in my inventory. And, well, you can see that there's a bunch of other stuff aside from chests laying around. So from the start of the room, like, you have the ladder over here, and then you have these chests and furnaces with coal that is already placed in it that I put in there, so that, you know, it'll help me save some time whenever it comes to smelting stuff. But basically, you have the furnaces, you have crafting tables as well. It just blends really well with the texture pack. I mean, it's just, I thought it would look really nice. The original idea was to try to play every single thing in the default texture, but I just got so bored of playing with the default textures. Like, I've been playing with the default textures for years, and it's just that I got so bored of it. But yeah, that's kind of why it is. But the entire world is in vanilla, aside from the couple of mods that I showed you, mainly for optimization. So you have like clumps and that sort of stuff to help just put all of the experience orbs in that. I also have Optifine. I mean, I'm sure you guys can tell, but if you go into video settings here, pretty much this is Optifine itself. but I think you could tell even without that, because again, I probably wouldn't even be able to record this if it wasn't for some of these things. So yeah, we have that, and yeah, there's just extra furnaces out here. These are the ones that I mainly use because it's just so easy to access. It's like I come through the door over here. You can see I have some pressure plates as well, so I don't even have to right click to open it. But I just come through the door, and I can just like turn this way, or I can come through the door and just, you know, go in here as well. Now, like I was saying, got some decorative blocks, so that's pretty much all there is, just all the gravel that I mine here. I can also just take these out of the chest, and if I want to get some flint, I can just put them in my hotbar here, go outside of my house, and then just like, you know, jump straight up and then just mine it with a shovel or something, and that's how I can get my flint. So I'm just going to put this back, because, well, I'm not really using it right now. So in here, got some glass that I smelted with some sand. Some bricks, which I use some of the clay to do it, and bricks are very expensive. Let's just say that they're very expensive, but I will show you what it is I use them for. So far I only use them for one build, and I might build some more in the future. I don't know yet, but so far I've only used that. And this is actually the stuff that I got from the caves that I've been making the videos from. So I found I don't know what you actually call it, because I didn't really bother to do my research before making this video, but these are some blocks of amethyst from that section of the cave that you guys definitely saw that I collected that, and from other sections that I've discovered that were similar as well. Got some dripstone, which I hear is actually very useful, so I might collect some more of that. And well, this is just the other materials that you find in those deep caves, I guess you can call them. Here we have a lot of dirt, and we have a hecking lot of dirt. This is a lot of the grass blocks that you see here was collected from Endermen that were just, they pretty much just roam around the world, and whenever it is I kill them to try to hunt for the ender pearls, they just drop a grass block. This is not something that was spawned or anything. Here we have even more, and I do use a lot of this for scaffolding or for other purposes, which I will show later on. But I do use this for scaffolding mostly, and I should actually grab a stack because I might use some more. But here we have some stone, mainly cobblestone. This is pretty much surface material. I'm starting to think I should probably like lower my render distance a little bit. This is starting to lag quite a bit, man. I don't want the video to be, there we go. That feels a lot better, I think. Although it might come back, it might kick in again later. But this is all the stone that I have here from pretty much mining on the surface or in caves that are not necessarily deep caves. Yeah, and all of the mossy cobblestone. Well, I haven't discovered a jungle template yet, so all of these are pretty much just mined from dungeons. Every single dungeon that I've been into so far in the game, I try to collect the mossy cobblestone. I don't know what I'm going to use the mossy cobblestone for just yet. I don't even know if there's anything I can use it for. Maybe I can make stone bricks, mossy stone bricks or something. I don't really know, but you have some stone bricks here. So all of this was pretty much smelted by taking cobblestone, putting it into an oven, turning it into, I think it's natural stone, and then placing it in the order of, 2x2 spots. Also, this is my character. Yeah, I'm not sure you guys see that, but this is my character. It doesn't really blend a whole lot. It really doesn't look too good, in my opinion. It just doesn't match with this texture pack at all, because like the texture pack is meant to be medieval, but I based my skin off of like the fact that it's very Minecrafty, so I try to make it as vanilla or Minecrafty as possible. I mean, I try to make it look a little bit like me, but at the same time, not really. My older skin had eyes that were a lot brighter blue than this, so I actually had to tone it down. And no, my eyes are not blue in real life, in case you're wondering. That's just, I thought I would make it look good, but I thought I would use my color, my primary colors, which are green, sort of a kind of purplish or purple. I don't really know what I decided to use, and blue for my eyes. And then on the back, I put a pickaxe, and I put it in purple, just because I thought it would look cool. I didn't want to use something obvious like a diamond pickaxe or wood or stone or well, yeah, obviously I wouldn't use stone, but I try to make it a little different. It actually looks kind of like amethyst. I'm sort of wondering what an amethyst pickaxe would look like, but yeah, that's basically what I put on the back of my character. So that's why I also don't wear any capes. I mean, I can show my character wearing a cape, but honestly, it just doesn't really look too good. I'll probably put an image up on the screen so that you guys can see what that would look like. But yeah, it doesn't really look as good as I thought it would. I mean, aside from the 15th anniversary cape. But yeah, I think I pretty much showed everything there is to show. I mean, in here is just the cobbled deep slate from the deep caves that I've been going to, and we have the miscellaneous chest. Nothing too special, it's just a bunch of dyes. Yeah, I do go around collecting flowers. Yes, I know. I have to press F for respect a lot. For some reason, there's a gold chest plate in here that I don't know why I didn't take it out. But here we have note block. I just happened to. I'm not sure if I made multiple or if it's just. I don't know why I have multiple, but it's probably either collected from dungeons or something. I don't really know. But yeah, this is just a miscellaneous chest. Some of these blocks I might actually got to put them somewhere else. Like for some reason I just kind of threw them in here. Now there were some. I did go to some villages back then, and but there have also been some. I think you call them pillagers. I believe the mobs are called pillagers that have spawned outside my house a few years back, and well, I killed them and ended up getting some bad luck whenever it is I went to a village. I can't remember honestly, but basically I killed some of those mobs and collected some of the banners. I don't think I ever actually fought the Ravager yet in survival mode. I gotta try doing that, but it's just so dangerous that I didn't want to take that risk, so I probably didn't even do that. But you know. Anyway, that's pretty much that. I think that's everything I covered in this room. Now, before I go up the ladder, I want to show you something real quick. So, when you go through this door, this is the enchantment room. This is where I do all of my enchantment shenanigans. I pretty much just put my whatever tools or weapons or something in here, whatever I want to enchant, pretty much. I'm actually going to put my armor back on because that's important. I don't want to get killed while I'm in the middle of recording a video by things. I could turn it to peaceful if I want to, but just for fun, I think I'll leave it on survival because I usually do anyways. Over here, we have the lapis lazuli. All of this, as you can imagine, has been mined and collected by hand. This lapis, as you know, is a very rare resource. Probably not rarer than diamond, but it's let's just say it's very uncommon. So I spend a lot of time exploring caves and everything, probably more than I do adventuring in the actual open world itself. But you know, I spend so much time just gathering resources and not even really using them, actually, to tell you the honest truth. Here we have an anvil. That's where I do most of my enchantments and stuff like that. Crafting table. Now all of these here, I don't think I've crafted a single gold apple. I mean, if I have, it's probably not very often, but I usually don't do that. I try to preserve a lot of my resources because I'm saving them for whenever it is I do go to the nether and to the end. So that's why. But yeah, this is where I get my lapis. This is where I get other enchantments like, you know, loyalty, which I haven't used for whatever reason, but I don't know if I'll use it eventually. Now you'll also, I'm sure that you guys have probably also noticed while it is I was, I'm not sure if I was switching my hotbar, but whenever it is I switch tools, you can see that some tools do have names. So right now, as you can see, this is a diamond sword. I did have another diamond sword that was, I think it was called, was it Arthur? I can't remember. That's in, let's see, this chest. Yeah, this one. So my first sword was called Hazel, and it's a Smite 1 sword, but I didn't really know how enchantments worked at the time, or at least I wanted to save the enchantment. So I just put it in the chest over here. That's also the reason why I put them in here. And then we also have Arthur, and this one is probably my best sword. I would even say that it's probably better than my diamond sword that I have right now. Although I will add more enchantments later on. But this is Arthur. And you have the sharpness enchantment, fire aspect, knockback, unbreaking, and it does a whole lot of damage. Not as much base damage apparently, but I think the diamond sword is definitely stronger technically, at least in melee. But everything else, it's lacking in everything else. I gotta find a way to put this fire aspect on the diamond sword. But yeah, so like the name of my bow is Annabeth, and it's named after a character from Percy Jackson. Please don't copyright me or anything like that. Whoever owns, I just named it after Annabeth. I'm a really, is it Percy Jackson? I think it's Percy Jackson. It's got to be Percy Jackson. Yeah. I remember reading those books whenever I went to, what is it, secondary school, high school, is what you guys would call it. I remember reading those books and just being an absolute fan. I'm still a fan of those books. I have like an entire collection, and some family members bought some books for me. It's a pretty good series. You should definitely check it out in case you haven't seen it. Now, there are some ladders over here that I put for a shortcut. I'll show you guys that in a moment, but I'll just go through the normal place. So whenever you enter the room, you have this door over here, and you have this ladder that takes you upwards. And I might have spoiled a little bit of it, but there it is. I do use a different material. And you also have this ladder over here. And the reason that I put it over here is because, honestly, I'm just lazy. I'm just really lazy. Like, I don't like having to go over here and then walk all the way back, or just run all the way back, you know. So I just like usually just go up here, and that's how it is I do that. It's the same reason, pretty much the same exact reason that I put the ladders over here, so that I wouldn't have to, you know, go up and down every single time whenever it is that I'm storing stuff or just moving back and forth. So I just go up here, and then that pretty much takes care of it. It's mainly because I'm lazy. It's nothing really special, okay, guys? But anyway, so when we go up this ladder, now this is a late addition. This is not something that's this is something I've only been working on recently. It's not even finished. I mean, I intend to add more chests or add more stuff in here, but what you see over here is pretty much diorite. I took some diorite, turned them into polished diorite, and then made diorite bricks, I think they're called. I actually can't remember what they're called. Polished diorite. Okay, there it is. So I just placed them in a... I cooked the diorite and just placed them in a 2x2 square, and then that pretty much made it. And it's a lot, you know. It was... I didn't do it in a single day, let's just say that. It probably took like 2 days or something to finish. Actually, maybe, well, I don't think it took that long, but it's a pain to try collecting every single resource in the game. Let's just say that. So here we have the redstone. Now this, I intend for this to sort of be like more of the rarer resource types. Or no, yeah, I guess more of the useful resources. So, but like I said, this room isn't even complete. You can see that I put some cobblestone there. I mean, really and truly, what I wanted to do was I wanted to, hey, whatever. Not sure what that block was doing there. It might have just been an Enderman goofing around or something, and the dirt didn't regrow. But yeah, the cobblestone is pretty much just like, I just kind of put it over there just to separate the rooms, because whenever it is I knock out this cobblestone, like the room doesn't really look as big. So I thought that adding it would sort of help give the illusion that, you know, it's a big room, because, you know, but I don't really know. I mean, this isn't exactly the final design. Like, once again, the world isn't completed. There's a lot of things that I'm going to be working on, and by the time this video does release, and you can also see that the ceiling isn't completed either, but by the time this video does release, you guys will probably, I think that this world will probably be, will have a little, it should have a little progress in it by the time that this video releases. So some things might look a little different, probably not too much, because it might just be, the video that you're about to see is, that you guys are watching right now, might get scheduled for several months into probably the following year. So yeah, it's going to be a while from now, and I like I said, I don't really hop on this world every single day, so that's kind of the primary reason. Now, I don't think there's really anything else to show aside from what's in these chests here. So if you go in these chests, it's just a bunch of redstone, and I put some redstone torches in there. I thought I would make this, the whole reason for this existing, though, mainly has to do with the fact that I just simply ran out of space down here, because it's just so small. Like, it's just so small down here. I also, yeah, in case you didn't notice the design, trying to make them look like columns. It doesn't really look as good as I thought it would, but I thought I can knock these out if I want to, but I just thought I would leave them in. But the main reason that I made that second floor is to pretty much just like I just ran out of space down here, and I can't put any more chests down, and if I have to put any more chests down, well, I'm gonna have to knock out even more walls, and I tried doing that, something like that before, and let's just say that was a mistake. I think there was some water that flowed in here or something, so I can't even say that I have that option. But let's go over here. And pretty much that's the main reason why this room even exists. So there's redstone in here. Now I collect like a crap ton of redstone. There's just way too much in the caves, and I can't collect them all. This isn't even all that I came across. This is just most of it. But this isn't even all, because like my inventory space always fills up. I know that they're adding bundles soon. Right now it's just in right now as of recording, this is just in the snapshots, but they are adding bundles soon, so that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm finally going to be able to have some more inventory space while I'm on the go. But yeah, there's just way too much, man. Down here there's a lot of coal. For some reason I don't have as much coal as I wish I do, but it's probably because I store most of them in the furnaces. Here we have some gold, and as you can imagine, like, once again, a crap ton of gold. For some reason a gold nugget as well. I'm not sure if I used that for something. And here we have copper. Now I'm going to show you something cool that I actually built. If you keep watching from this point on, or if you skipped ahead, yeah, I'm going to show you guys something cool that I built. I hope you guys like it. I think you guys will like it. But again, this world isn't completed. And well, these holes, in case you're wondering, are just, well, they just take you down here. Like I said, the shortcut that I showed you earlier sort of helps me save time, instead of having to, you know, run through the door and then just go over there and then jump up the ladder. It's just, I thought it would be a neat shortcut, you know, quality of life sort of thing. Because once again, everything is done in survival mode, so I can't do any flying around, or, well, I can do breaking blocks if I want to, but it's like, it's just, I don't know. I think it's I thought it was a nice addition. So I'm just gonna go down the normal way. And that pretty much covers it for the house, I think. I mean, oh yeah, actually. Well, I'll show you guys that afterwards. Right now, what I want to do is I want to show you guys what's down here. So down here, I bet you guys have definitely seen this, but whenever it is you enter the room, you'll notice that there's some glass over here, and there's also glass in here. Now, the main purpose for that is really just for decoration. It's not just to make the wall itself look cool, but it's like you can see stuff through it. I'm not sure if I might put stained glass here eventually, but I thought I would make it look cool just to make the house look a little bigger, because you don't want it to look too open. You want to put some walls up to make it look a little big. So I put some glass up here, and just to make it, yeah, just so that you can see what's going on in the other room, but you can't get to it unless you know, move through this door, for instance. So you go in here. This is what you enter, and now you're gonna wonder where you're seeing the light sources. It's pretty much on torches. Now I wanted to use redstone lamps or something, but you do need redstone to power those, and also I don't really have that sort of material right now anyway, because I think you need for redstone lamps you need glowstone, and I haven't really been in the nether for too long, because I feel like I would have made a chest showcasing everything. I don't even think I finished showcasing everything in this room, but there's, like, down here there's granites or granites that I collect from caves. I mean, usually these resources, these blocks, look pretty ugly in the vanilla textures, but it's just that because I'm using the texture pack, it looks kind of nice. So that's the reason why they look like that. But I think they do look a little better now with the new Minecraft textures. But here we have andesite. Once again, all of these have been collected in caves. You have this polished andesite, some of which are essentially leftovers from whenever I was building this place. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, you just have the furnaces in here. I didn't really put any coal in there because I think these were built pretty late. For some reason I left birch planks in here. I might gotta take that out later. But anyway, moving on. So here, and once again, this is also a shortcut. I mean, I could just, you know, if I want to, I can pretty much just keep opening this door and traveling back and forth, but I just decided, you know what, why not just knock out this door here and save myself the trouble of having to, you know, go back and forth over and over. So it's just this time-saving mechanic, in other words. But yeah, you would notice when you enter this room, you can't really see where the light is coming from, and that's intentional. That is completely intentional. Where it is I got the idea for that is X's Adventures in Minecraft, and I was looking at some of his older builds. This is an alpha, but the way that he built his stuff before redstone lamps and a bunch of other additions were added to the game, the way that he built his stuff is like he has some sort of light source coming down here, and he placed the torches at a certain angle so that you can't see it immediately. So like if it's like behind a block or something, you won't really see it whenever it is that you're standing, you know, like right where it is that I'm standing right now. So whenever it is you enter a room, you don't really see it, and well, when you look up, you see this one, but you don't really see the others, so you have to actually look under it. I thought it would look pretty cool. And you can also see here, see the rest of the house outside. So yeah. Anyway, but that pretty much does it for that right now. This here, I think I tried to knock out this area, but like I said, you know, there's pretty much this. It's just this bedroom over here. So I tried to knock out this place, and it didn't really do so well because it just goes into the next room. Let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, yeah, it just goes literally into the next room. So that's why it is I can't really. I wanted to make it try to make the house a little bigger, but it's just there's really nothing I can do about that. I hope I don't break anything. Okay, good. All right. Now let's just make sure I have some armor down here because things can spawn sometimes. Not all the time, but now we're getting into the real stuff. So knocked out some walls just to kind of make it look fancy, but I think along the way I gave up trying to do that, and I just started putting torches normally. So yeah, like this is just kind of a normal thing. I didn't really bother to patch up the holes, but this entire staircase leads down to, it's pretty much just a mine. You know, I was just mining for resources, and like I said earlier in the video, this world was created in 1.16.5. So everything that you're seeing here, the stairs going down here, was created in 1.16.5. So I did all of this mining. And, well, I did some occasional strip mining here as well, so I don't think there's anything there that I need to show. I really don't think so. But yeah. So here we have caution lava, because I was doing some mining, and then, you know, I came across some lava over here. I'm not sure if this obsidian spawned here or if I used a water bucket or something. But there were some resources like redstone, and then I can't remember if it was just a straight staircase down before, and then after I got some lava over here, I didn't want to take out the lava because I thought it looked really cool if you put glass over it. This is pretty much a borrowed idea from Steven Plays in one of his old survival series on the channel. I think it was Steven Vlog is the name of the channel, where he just sort of had a basement and just had some lava over it, or lava under it, and then he just put glass blocks, and it looked pretty cool. You know, I mean, it could look a lot better, but I thought it looked pretty cool. So that's why that's there. Obviously I knocked out some of the obsidian to build another portal, so that exists. And then here is these are supposed to be iron fences. I don't think these are glass blocks, although I can check, but I think it's iron fences. And this was lava that was already here. This is not something that I spawned. If I spawned any, it might have just been to make it look a little better, but this is just natural lava that happened to be under here while I was mining. And yeah, there's nothing over here. So now, once again, this world was created in 1.16.5. That's the version. Things like this, now things like this, I don't think that this existed in 1.16. I don't think so. I think pretty much the staircase down here and everything that you saw so far has existed, aside from things like the second level to the storage. The storage rooms first level or second level, whatever you want to call that, that's pretty much, that hasn't been in 1.16. But everything that you see from this strip mine over here, as well as the staircase and the main rooms and stuff, have been pretty much in 1.16. I do have an older version of the world, so I can probably make a video showing you guys what that used to look like. I mean, I don't even remember half of what it looks like because I've just been so focused on the main world here. But when you come down here, it says caution lava, and you have a staircase here, just kind of built to be a little fancy. And over here, sure, if it is that you pause the video, you guys caught it, but over here it says welcome to the underworld. Now I decided to call it the underworld because back in 1.16, you know, we didn't have anything like what you see here. This is cobbled deep slate. We didn't have that in 1.16. What we had was bedrock. And this was pretty much the deepest that I could have gone, so I couldn't mine past, you know, what this was previously known as bedrock. I mean, obviously bedrock is much lower now. It's not like it's been removed from the game, but it's much lower. But this is what used to be bedrock, and this is pretty much what the underworld is like. So I thought I would put some glass here, just to give you an idea. You know, just, you know, like, once again, you know, whenever it is that you just have an open space, it doesn't really look as big. So I thought that I would do this. I might actually put some walls up occasionally just to make it look even cooler. So, but yeah, it's like you can see a little bit of what you're in for next. And originally, in 1.16, once again, like I said, all of this was bedrock. In 1.16, that wasn't there. That was just something that I did later on in the game. But I'm sure you guys might recognize this from one of my teaser videos that I made early on in the channel. But basically, this is the same cave that I do go down here, so I don't really need to show this. But yeah, I did do a little bit of off-camera exploration, so that's why there's this spot over here. Now, again, there's a lot of dark spots, so I don't want to, and I don't really intend to explore the caves in this video because, you know, it's something that I plan to do off camera. Okay, guys, it's just, it takes a lot of time to do this. It takes a lot of patience and stuff. I think that's an Enderman, so I'm just gonna not look at that. I could swear I just see some stuff out there, but yeah, it's just the same caves that I've pretty much been exploring in my videos. Well, I mean, I'll probably make some video. There's a lot of them that spawn down here. Yeah, there's usually like an entire school of squid, or just an entire gang of squid just spawning there. They're always spawning and just dying for whatever reason, because, you know, lack of water or oxygen or something. And this just shows the entrance to the cave. I usually put signs around to make it easier to see wherever it is I'm going. And yeah, like I just put arrows going back. I don't really think I want to show the rest of that right now, because again, it's just pretty much what you would expect from a deep cave. I mean, I'll probably make a separate video on that if you guys want, but it isn't even nearly complete. It's way, it's far from complete. Let's just say that. So I'm not really gonna waste my time showing that right now. I haven't even begun to touch down on the I think it's called the Ancient Cities, if I recall correctly. I can't remember. Anyway, point is, I'm not really ready to touch on that. Now, I am starting to run a little bit over time, so as you can see, like whenever it is you go up here in one of my early teaser videos, this is where I stopped. I believe it's this exact spot that I stopped at. If you watch that entire video, I'll put a link in the description, or maybe put a info card up on the screen so you guys can go check them out. But this is pretty much where I stopped, and then I just completely ended the video. And then after that, you guys got some extra videos of me just exploring the rest of it in parts. I think it's pretty much 4 parts. Each of the videos are about an hour long or so. And yeah, like I just stopped over here, and you know, well, I don't really need to touch on that. But like I said, all of this here was bedrock. All of the deep slate that you see here was pretty much bedrock, so I couldn't mine any further in that. After I converted the world over to 1.20, I never really bothered with this anymore. Like I was thinking about knocking this down actually and making it look even bigger so it looks even cooler, but I don't really know. And you can see that there's some leftover redstone. Like I said, like there's just way too many resources for me not to collect. But here we have some iron that I, for whatever reason, forgot to pick up. I might got to do that later. But I just haven't really been so focused on here because I can just literally go down into that place that you guys just saw and just, you know, do all of my mining and exploration here. Now this here that you see is a late addition. If you guys remember, there was a strip mine that I saw earlier then. I can't remember why it is I was doing it, but I was doing some strip mining so that I can probably get some cobblestone or something, because cobblestone does not spawn. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, cobblestone rarely spawns down in these caves. Like most of it is just entirely deep slate. It's crazy. Like, I had no idea that it was there, but like cobblestone is a very rare resource to find down here, and it's just insane. You can't even find coal. Like, coal is another rare resource, and that's something that you can only do on the surface. So what I had to do was I had to go through that strip mine, and well, actually I think I can show you guys quickly what that's like. But that staircase that you guys see over there, that pretty much leads back to the strip mine that you guys are about to see. So if I go through this relatively quickly, this is where it is that it takes me here, and I think I got lost a couple times actually doing it because it was so confusing, so I might have had to put some signs up. But I found some resources over here. It might have been coal, it might have been iron, who really knows or cares. But when you keep going this way, there's probably some extra resources. I think I'll just put a dirt block down here just to but all of it connects, and apparently I forgot some iron here. Yeah, when I converted the world over from 1.16 to 1.20, it started spawning a lot of the. Well, I had to actually convert it, so I had to like I had to what is it? I had to go. What I had to basically do is I had to go in single player and then click on the world and then click edit, and then I had to optimize the world. Now, once you optimize the world, you can't just say, you know, let's take Landa and then put it back in 1.16. Like, once you optimize the world for a specific version, you can't go back, and that's because it's converting every single thing that you see in your current version to the new version. So once it's converted, once optimized, that's it. You can't go back. So right now, as I'm in 1.21 and I optimize the world, I can go back to 1.20. I did have an old backup, but because it doesn't really matter too much, like, I just deleted it. I don't really care that much for it. It's mainly the old backups that I saved from back in 2020, 21, you know, that sort of era. What I like to refer to Landa is as the pandemic world. I lovingly refer to it as the pandemic world because, you know, everyone was just indoors at the time, pretty much in their houses, you know, just during the lockdown. They couldn't go outside or anything, so I pretty much just watched a whole lot of anime and played a lot of Minecraft because that's the only thing that I could have done while we were in the lockdown. So I refer to it as the pandemic world because that's pretty much around the same time. I think it was around either January or February 2020 that I created a world. I'm not entirely sure. It might have been the middle of the year. I can't remember. It's been too long. But yeah, this world has existed for quite a long time, guys. Just letting you know. But I mean, there's just so many ways to go. Most of it is just me trying to collect resources and getting lost down here. So I made this entire thing. Down here is probably the same thing, which is why I built this bridge. I don't really think there's anything down here either. I just got to put some torches down there just in case things spawn, because sometimes that can happen. I am in hard mode, so things can definitely spawn a whole lot. So yeah, most of this is just useless. Let me just skip over, see if we can find what I'm looking for. And for some reason, there's a lot of dirt blocks. I can't remember ever play. Oh, that scared me a little bit. There was a zombie that just fell off the edge. Yeah, things can just still spawn on top of me. I'm hoping that I would survive, but yeah, what you guys are seeing here is pretty much the same exact cave that I showed you guys. I'm pretty sure it's the same exact cave. Yeah, it's got to be the same cave. And I think I did make a video of me like actually exploring it, or several videos pretty much. But this specific part of the cave, I have that video, and that's or is it this one? I can't remember, honestly. Also, apparently this does not connect to wherever it is I wanted it, so maybe it doesn't connect to that. I gotta actually check what that is. hang on. Maybe I'm just sorry. There's just way too much stuff in this world to really cover in a short span of time. So I'm trying to go as quickly as possible. I know that the video is running over an hour, but I'm trying to keep you guys entertained with as much commentary as possible. But apparently that does not lead to wherever I thought it would. Okay. Well, I guess I'll show you guys while it's here. It probably would have been a good idea to do that. Okay. So up here is I honestly can't remember why I added this. I mean, I might have actually built this staircase up here first and then did mining. I can't remember, but over here is just some thing, and then I think it does actually connect to that cave or strip mine in a way, but it's like it's kind of a weird. It's weirdly connected, I guess you could say. Oh yeah, it does connect to, okay. So it does connect to the cave a little bit, and that's why I put this wood over here. And then this just a shortcut back to the underworld. So this was something that I was exploring. This was a while back. I really don't remember much about this, come to think of it. There's really not much I remember about it. Just gonna equip my diamond sword here, in case things spawn, because it can. I mean, I am in the caves now, so it's a little... It's dangerous, so I gotta protect myself. Now I can make diamond armor. I'm fully aware of that, but you know, you guys are probably wondering why I'm wearing iron armor still. That's because I don't know. It's just I feel like making diamond armor is just sort of a waste of resources. So that's kind of the main reason why I'm wearing that. But yeah, there's not really anything down here. It might have just been a few resources, and I thought it would be kind of cool to just leave it here. Usually I just leave everything, like the caves, untouched. And I might have been mining something down here, but anyway. So this just takes me back. I don't remember why I did this, but yeah, I put some signs up because I actually got lost here somehow from doing things. It might have just been because there's a lot of different paths to go. So like for this, for example, I think this was actually my way up, and now I suddenly can't get to it. That's weird. But if I go over here, there was something up here, and then I just didn't bother with it again for some reason. It just takes me back to where I was. Yeah, you can see I'm just looping around. Yeah, so this is where the sign takes me back. I'm not sure why I actually built this. It might have just been mainly just for this staircase, which, if that's the case, it's not really too out of the ordinary. And also, for some reason, slime spawned. That's strange. Usually these things never spawn down here. They never spawn down here in 1.16, so I find it very strange. But yeah, as you can see, I'm using the... well, previously I was using the Golden Age combat mod, and that's the mod that I prefer to use for my combat anyway, because you can see the swing-in animation, the sweeping animation on there. But I can spam click. As you can see, there's no cooldown. I can spam click. I prefer using the Golden Age combat mod because what happens is it removes that sweeping animation, that sweeping edge sort of visual it leaves on the screen. So that's the reason why I prefer that, and it also restores, instead of like 7 attack damage, I think it restores to 8, which is what it was pre 1.9. I just prefer it for single player. I don't use it in multiplayer. In multiplayer, I just use whatever, you know, is multiplayer. So if it's 1.8, it's 1.8. If it's in 1.9, like it's supposed to be for the MCC Island series that I was doing recently, well, recently as I recorded the video, that is, I would just use 1.9. I didn't really notice that at first when I was making MCC, which is why some of, I think it's the first video actually that it still shows the visuals, but the problem is it doesn't actually, like, although it doesn't show me, although it shows me spamming in the MCC Island episode 1, it doesn't actually increase my damage or anything. Like, it doesn't change the value because it's a 1.9 server, so it doesn't actually do that. So it just does it on the client, which I didn't really notice that at the time of recording, but eventually I did notice it, and pretty much the rest of the series is in 1.9. So I think that pretty much covers it for the Underworld, and now I'm going to show you guys, well, obviously, it goes without saying, but this took forever to do, okay? Every single thing that you guys are seeing took forever to do. So I'm just going to go up here, and that pretty much covers it for everything that's here, I mean, that pretty much covers it. I showed you guys the Technoblade pig. Obviously, I plan to raise... oh, yeah, and the funny thing is, before I heard about Technoblade, you know, because I didn't grow up with Technoblade. I only heard about him after he passed. Only briefly before he passed, actually. Yeah, basically, the reason why I kept the pork chops in here was because... you know, like I didn't really hear about him at the time, but after I started watching some of his videos and stuff like that, you know, like seeing a guy that was around my age, because I'm 20 years old, seeing a guy pass away so young was just unfortunate. You know, someone who's in my generation and just, you know, someone who was basically a content creator that I wish I had discovered. I wish I discovered him when he was still alive, because like his content actually slaps. I really can't lie. Like, not only is he good at PvP, he might not be the best PvPer, but I don't care. Like, he's just a damn good content creator. And it's just, you know, for someone who is my age that makes content similar to the way that I do, and a lot of millennials especially. When I say millennials, I mean like 30-year-olds is pretty much, if that's an accurate number. Don't like, put down your pitchforks and torches. It just... I don't really know how the generations thing work, okay? At this point, like, I just assume that Gen Beta or Gen Alpha and Gen Z is just the same thing, but it's not. It's really not. Trust me, it's not. Just know that if you're talking slang in chat, you're basically a child, and don't come near me, okay? Just, I hate children. That's a joke, by the way. I don't hate children. It's just that, you know, I was a kid once, and I know how annoying and spoiled and bratty kids can be, and stupid. So, don't, like, I have nothing against kids, but just please stay away from me, okay? Just stay away. Anyway, especially with a lot of the allegations that have been cropping up against content creators, just stay the fuck away from me, okay? Just unfiltered, okay? I'm saying that, and I really mean it. So, here there's a lot of wool, as you can imagine. I had to share a lot of sheep, which I'm about to show. But before we go outside, and also in case you were wondering what this is, in case I didn't explain it earlier, it's just chairs, pretty much, chairs and tables. But up this ladder, and this was actually here pretty much since 1.16, all of this has remained untouched. I don't know if I might add any decor, like bushes or something similar to what you saw in that room. You see some water dripping down there, which I'll show you guys what that is in a moment. But yeah, it's pretty much been it's just I've mostly left this untouched because I wanted to focus on doing other things. I don't really do a whole lot of interior design aside from what you guys saw down there, but I'll certainly be doing a lot more with this place once I get some time. So here we just have this space, and yeah, this is just a window that looks out there. Same thing with that one. Now we'll be going to whatever it is you're seeing in the distance over there. We'll be going to that soon. But if we go up here very quickly, this part, I think where I'm actually standing right now, this was pretty much what existed in 1.16 up until where I'm standing. Everything that you're seeing up here, from the ladders to the water, and what you're about to see up there, did not exist in 1.16. All of that existed in, well, it might have existed in 1.16, but it's probably like later versions of the world. It might have been later version of the world, so probably like it might have still been in 1.16, because I did play a little bit in 1.16 because I wasn't sure if my computer can handle the Caves and Cliffs update. But I also waited, like at the time that the world existed, only 1.17 came out, and it wasn't the complete Caves and Cliffs update, so that's why I did that. Like I waited until 1.80 was out, 18 was out, but I just got so busy with other things too. I was also binge watching a lot of anime and stuff during the pandemic, so that's probably the reason. I just sort of forgot about it, honestly, got sidetracked. But yeah, everything that you see up until where I was standing there was in 1.16. And everything that you see here now is pretty much what happened later. So here, this is actually where I believe my new spawn is. This is why I put the red block over here, the red wool. This pretty much, well, I don't have a compass on me right now, but pretty much, and you guys probably got a little spoiled on it, but if you did not, then don't pause now, because you'll just get spoiled, okay? So there's a red wool over here, and this is pretty much the spawn point. And you know, well, obviously there's just there were a bunch of trees here that and also my world is it's lagging a heckin' lot. Holy crap! I might gotta turn it down here just a tad bit, just so that it doesn't lag me out of existence. But basically, there were a lot of trees in this area for a brief amount of time, actually. And I cut them down just yesterday as I'm recording this. Literally just the day before. There were some birch trees around there, and that's how it is I got so much logs. I'm definitely going to have to cut some more down, though, because, well, let's just say, you know, there's just a hecking lot of things to cut down there. But this is basically the spawn point. This wasn't even, like, intentional. So, yeah, don't even worry about it, guys. We'll be going to whatever that is in a moment, and also you guys got spoiled on it a little bit, but if you don't know what it is, just don't worry about it. Just it'll be fine, okay? So if we go up here, this is now this is well, because I'm recording the video, it's gonna lag a lot. Usually it doesn't lag this much, but it's gonna lag a lot. So here's sort of like a watchtower, and I mean, it's pretty much just that, you know, a watchtower. Now, sometimes phantoms can spawn, and sometimes they can spawn, and what I do is I either stand over here or I stand in another place that I'm about to show you guys. And like, they can spawn over here, and sometimes they just, whenever they try to fly back up, they just hit the ceiling, and then I just like pull out my bow, and I just like aim at them and just shoot them. Or I just, whenever they charge me, because like for whatever reason they just get stuck whenever they try to fly up. So it's kind of like a trap in a way. I didn't even intend for it to be that way. It's just sort of a thing that happens because phantoms spawn at a certain level. So it's like they spawn around here, around this level or something, and then they try to fly back up and they get stuck, and then they charge at me, and I just have to, you know, spam them down pretty much. Now if we go over here up the ladder to the highest possible level that we can get, you'll notice that everything is made out of wood, and there's also some stone here, and I'm about to explain why that is. So here you can see it's very much laid out in sort of a circle. Now I wanted, of course, I try to be a perfectionist, so I tried to make it look as good as possible, but it doesn't look nearly like what I wanted to. It's not exactly one-to-one symmetrical, just saying. But I tried to make it look good from both the inside and out, so that it at least looks like a really large room or something. But of course, you know, it's not like, I'm probably gonna have to put some more torches up there too, to be honest, because it's like there's some dark stuff there. I don't think it'll spawn anything, but if we go out here, I'm not gonna show you guys yet what that is, but basically this is a giant straw hat. This is a giant straw hat, as you can imagine, for those of you who don't know. But for those who do know especially, I'm a huge One Piece fan. So I built a giant straw hat here. It's really massive. I fell off so many times. I probably died more times falling off, and that's probably why my death counter is so large, but it's so huge. But it's like I died so many times just placing it, and actually originally this was a lot bigger. I used a lot of birch wood originally when I first built this thing to try to see if it is I can come up with a good shape for the straw hat, because I wanted it to just be a really, really giant straw hat, and it is a giant straw hat. Collecting the wool and everything for it, I was thinking about putting like fences around here, but I decided not to put it because well, I might get an elytra eventually and just jump off the edge, but because I don't have one right now because I haven't been to the end, that's just kind of the situation that it is. But collecting a lot of this wool has pretty much been a pain. It has been a pain to do. Now the problem is, in order to circumvent this problem, because all of this is entirely flammable, to circumvent this problem, and as you can see, it's raining right now. I don't know if it's a thunderstorm. If it was a thunderstorm, it would probably be darker. But to circumvent this problem, where sometimes, you know, it's flammable, and sometimes lightning can strike, and it has done stuff like that before. It has lit stuff that I've built on fire, although it briefly put it out because of the rain, usually. But lightning usually does strike, and what I had to do was I had to circumvent this. Now, this wasn't something that existed. Well, maybe it did. Maybe it did actually exist in 1.16. I'm not entirely sure, because maybe they added the resources later on or something. I can't remember the exact version. It might have been 1.14. Who really knows? But the update that they added to copper, I didn't really make too much use of copper. But then I heard that there were lightning rods. So whenever it is that what I decided to do was, because all of this is entirely flammable, and that includes not only the wood but also the wool here as well, and I don't want any of my structures to light on fire and just burn, what I did was I put some cobblestone up here, because what I had to do was I had to do some testing to make sure that it works, and this is the lightning rod. And what sometimes can happen is, I'll show you guys a clip of what it's actually like here right now. So yeah, now that you guys have seen that clip, that pretty much is what happens. It's just like, well, I can actually talk over it if I want to, but pretty much that's what happens when you put the lightning rod over there. And well, I guess I could turn a little bit without spoiling too much, but yeah, that's pretty much what, wherever you're seeing the cross over there, that's why I also put stone on top of it, so that it doesn't do that. It doesn't like light it on fire and then light the wood on fire, that is. And the reason for the cobblestone, even though I know that the cobblestone doesn't really look too good with it, but yeah, it's just like there, you know, it's just kind of there. Now, what I'm about to do is I think I'm just gonna get down from here. I think it looks pretty cool, by the way, like the lightning striking the top of the cross, and you know, like the straw head. I thought it was pretty damn cool. I thought that would be a nice addition to the game. So I'm just gonna jump down here and hope I don't die. And if we go here quickly. Man, this video is starting to run pretty long. It's like I can't even cover everything. So let me just show you guys a little bit before I touch on everything. So this is what it looks like from the ground level. The Tree of Prosperity. This is something. I think this just. It's not like the first tree in my world, but it's the tree that was the closest to my world. Whenever it is I did it. This was inspired by like PewDiePie's. Whenever he made his 2019 world. Like he had a tree that he sort of built his house around, and this is sort of inspired by that. It's also somewhat inspired by the Tree of Knowledge of Good and Evil, and also, well, you know, Yggdrasil. Like trees just have a very big importance. They play a very big role in Norse mythology and religion, and you know, mythology and stuff like that. This is a bell. I've been to a village before. And I always make sure to ring it, and I put some of the banners up there. This is what the outside of the house looks like. I'm just going to show you guys a little sneak peek. This is what it looks like up here, and you guys probably saw it, but it's not. Well, anyway, I'll just we'll tackle one thing at a time. Okay, let's just take our time. So this is the world that we have here, or the house. Sorry, I've been commentating for quite a while, so I'm getting a little tired, but a little out of breath, and just a little decoration here, trying to make it look as nice as possible. But this is what it looks like, and I think I'm gonna go to the other side and show you guys what that looks like as well. So this is where the bedroom is at. This is where you can usually see out from. Can I actually jump on top of this? I can't. I don't think I can. Yeah, but you can see the bedroom in here or out here, and as well as what, you know, sort of a glimpse at what the house looks like. Now, this here, I'm actually going to start from where it is that I stood. So, now all of this wasn't actually here when it is that the video came out, but what you guys see over there is pretty much the cave that I explored. That was the cave, the video where I made the world in 1.4 or 1.16. Sorry. And after I converted it, I wanted to see. I thought that it would generate something new, so that's why I made that video, just to see if it would create anything. That's pretty much where that is. Now that structure there wasn't there before. I don't think that was there when I first recorded it. But oh man, it's getting dark. I gotta hurry this up. But that's pretty much where it is that I'm at. And well, I'm sure you guys. Oh boy. Well, you guys see what it looks like now, huh? So that's what the straw hat looks like from a distance, and I thought it looked pretty cool. So whenever it is that you stand, you know, like from a really far distance, it looks super cool. Once again, world has not been completed. This is not the final product. I'm going to repeat that over and over again. I'm just going to hammer it into your heads, because there's a whole lot more that I have planned for it that, you know, that I haven't even planned, actually. Some of these were just spur of the moment things. So you have this giant straw hat over there, and which is pretty much just my house, and I want to build more stuff eventually too. So, but all this stuff was not here when it is that I first built it. Like some of the stuff I added later, so this wasn't even a thing. What happened was I came from this direction actually, and I sort of had to turn the camera this way so that I wouldn't spoil it until this video comes out. But then I went through over here, turned this over here, and then if you guys were paying attention, there was this bridge. This was already here. There's a lightning rod over there as well, because this can catch on fire, and I'm not sure if well, I showed you the lightning rod, so that can mostly pick up on the lightning, but just in case it does strike anywhere near wherever this is. I mean, like lightning rods pretty much cover I think it's a 128 by 128 block distance. It's something like that, I think. Either 128 by 128 or chunks or something like that. I don't really know, but it covers that distance. But I put it here just to be on the safe side. Now, if we go over here, this is pretty much where I cut off the video, and I cut off the video at this specific point. Now, there were some things that weren't even added at this point here, because, and you can tell because if you pause at those specific times in the video, you can probably see it. But, you know, it's like I cut it over here. And it's pretty much just like what I wanted to do was I wanted to put something over here. I was thinking about putting a windmill or something, because the whole theme of this world is that it's a medieval world. Now I do try to build, when I try to build something, I try to make sure that it looks good in most texture packs. It doesn't have to be in this specific texture pack or in vanilla or anything like that. I just try to make sure it looks good. You know, it's not going to look good in every single texture pack, because everything varies. But the reason that I built this over here so that I can head off in that direction, and you know, if I'm coming from the house and I want to, you know, go a certain way, instead of having, originally this was just a normal hill with grass on it. I would put I put the stairs over here just to say, you know, if I want to go this way, I can go this way and veer off in this direction. And the same thing with the other one. If I want to go that way, I can veer off in this direction. And I didn't sleep, so there are some phantoms that are spawning. So these are going to be annoying to fight. Yeah, these sons of godforsaken things are so annoying, but I do need to kill them for the phantom memories. They are pretty annoying, though. Oh, God damn it. Go away. Go away. Go away. God damn it. Now, this would be a whole lot harder if it was the 1.9 combat, for sure, which, you know, I have no problem turning it off if I want to. I mean, I really have no issues with that, but it's just, it's annoying to deal with phantoms, especially. And I do prefer the all combat, so it's like, you know. Okay. But yeah, that's, yeah, those things spawn all the freaking time, because I don't sleep in this world at all. So, I also probably haven't slept for the duration of this video, because it's been going on for an hour, and that's approximately, like, I think a day is approximately like 20 minutes or something. So, yeah, it's like 10 minutes in a day, 10 minutes in the night. But anyway, without wasting time, here's the nether portal. Now, I haven't really explored the nether a whole lot, but I could jump in temporarily. Maybe we can see if anything happens. But in case you're wondering, oh god, just go back in the portal. God, I don't want to take any risk when it is I did that, but basically I haven't really explored too much of the nether. I wasn't wearing the gold armor, so that's why I left. But I haven't really explored too much of the nether, so we won't really be going too much into that. I just wanted to check to see if I did explore it, and yeah, that is indeed the same thing that I went through. I only explored it briefly. But this is what it looks like. You know, you have the bedroom here. Whenever it is you go up this cobblestone path, And I tried to make everything cobblestone based because it's vanilla and it looks really good in this texture pack. Now, even before I started using this texture pack, this was already built. So, but once I found out that there was a medieval texture pack that I could use, and once again, the name of the texture pack is Excalibur. I applied it to this world. It looked really amazing. Like, I thought it would look so cool with everything, and it did. It met my expectations. So here, what we have is a chicken farm or egg farm or something. And it's, again, I borrowed this idea from PewDiePie's Minecraft world. This is probably something that other Minecrafters have done too, but it's just a bunch of hoppers underneath. And I trapped some of the chickens and I called one of them Aegis because, well, Aegis is actually named after a admin or custom magic that was in Arcane Adventures. Arcane Adventures, for those of you who don't know, was a Roblox game. It was an MMORPG created by the legendary developer VDEX Games. He's also the one who made One Piece Golden Age. He's the one who made the original One Piece Golden Age game. Not unlike the remake that you guys see, that he made the original version of that, as well as other games on Roblox, and I'm a huge fan of him. I gotta say that. I mean, I don't really engage with the community as much as I used to, because, for reasons that won't be disclosed, but, yeah, basically it's just that I don't really engage with it as much anymore, alongside with other people, but I played Arcane Adventures a lot back in the day, and I thought that Aegis was a pretty cool name to just give a chicken. I mean, it's just, there's no particular reason. It's just, I like to name my stuff after, random things. And it's also the only chicken that's here. But basically, they lay eggs, and they spawn over here, and they just drop into hoppers. And what happens is you put these into hoppers, and it just sort of, if I can show you guys, it just sort of goes in here into there's a hopper that's like right behind the chest here, and it just fills up, and it's always full. Like first it was just this chest, and then I had to make another one, and it was an absolute pain to try and like go underneath. Gosh, it just keeps going in there, but like it's just a pain to go underneath here and then have to actually take it out. But what I do is I usually just if I need chickens to spawn, because I usually need food, I would just go in here, grab one of the eggs, and then we would just grab usually a few stacks actually of the eggs, and then just pretty much spam them, and then you would have some chickens running around. Usually it's a lot more than that, but I just wanted to show you an example. Now, this is what it looks like, and then we have the campfire over here. I thought it would look pretty cool, especially in the medieval textures, but I think I already built this even before medieval, like I said, so that was pretty cool. Here we have sort of kind of a church, and well, this is probably the fanciest thing that I have. In case you can't tell, if you can get used to the textures, this is glass, this is cobblestone, wood logs, all of this is entirely flammable. So I did make sure to put a lightning rod on top of it just in case. But, or actually, I'm not sure if I put a lightning rod on it. I can't remember. Maybe did I actually put it? I can't remember. But either way, maybe you just can't see it from the angle that I'm at. But I'm pretty sure if I go on top of the house, you can see it. So there's a lot of glass around here. This is probably the fanciest structure I've built in this world. So I have a bed over here. I can sleep just to make a day, and so that I don't have phantoms interrupting me during the recording process. But yeah, so there's usually I don't really do a whole lot of sleeping though, because I just really like how it sets the mood for everything. I probably should not have done it, because I actually have some stuff that I want to show you guys, and it looks really, really cool at night. So this is probably the fanciest thing I've built. There's stone bricks that's meshed with the cobblestone and the wood. I think if I recall, this is chiseled stone. I can't remember, but then I just sort of put it there. Once again, this sort of structure was somewhat inspired by PewDiePie's world. It's just that PewDiePie has a lot of cool worlds, so it's like, or he has really cool interior design and stuff. So this is probably like the best thing that I've built in terms of interiors. And well, there's just a bunch of sheep out here, sort of like it's sort of synonymous with sheep or lambs, that sort of thing. Basically Christianity in that sense. This is where I put all the wool. I might have to make a separate chest. And you are not supposed to be out here. Okay. Not sure what you were doing out here, but anyway. But yeah, this is where I put all of my stuff. And well, there's just way too many of them here. I don't think I'll be killing them because I do actually plan to use some of these sheep mainly for like if I have to do anything with the sheep, I usually just share them or I breed them. But if I do have to kill them, it's usually to clear up lag or something, because there's just way too many of them in the area and they're really friggin' annoying to listen to. So just gonna go away from that. But yeah, this is probably the fanciest thing. This is also wooden planks. Now what I wanted to do originally was I wanted to like put grass out here because well, the sheep have to they have to eat the grass in order to regrow their fur. I think that's what you call it, or wool or something like that. They have to regrow it, and I need that for a lot of the builds that you guys see in the video. I mean, I'm like teasing it mostly, but like the red and the blue and stuff like that, yeah, I gotta use that for like my house and stuff especially. So that's like what I wanted to do originally was I wanted to leave this as like a grass path, but unfortunately, like a lot of the sheep are attracted to grass, and that's mostly where it is that they have to go to. They have to be on the pasture in order to regrow their wool. Otherwise, they wouldn't regrow it. So to prevent them from like getting too congregated in this specific area, I had to leave them out there. So I had to leave the grass out here, and it's out in the open, so they're always out here. Now some sheep do wander in occasionally here because of the AI, but usually they just wander back out. The only time that they follow me in here is when I'm holding like a stack of hay or sorry, a stack of wheat or something. That's the only time that they follow me in here, but that pretty much covers that. And there's some water flowing out here as well. Once again, well, this is mostly a church. It wasn't fully inspired by PewDiePie, but I thought it would be really cool to have that. But I think mostly the interior is designed like the interior is mostly inspired by PewDiePie's, because he did use some fancy stuff. I think he used mossy stone brick though, which is something I don't have right now, but. Yeah, I thought I would make it a little fancy, just make it like that. If I wanted to build it into a real church, it would be gigantic. Like, it would be a cathedral or something, like, sort of inspired by those cathedrals, but right now it's just a simple structure. Now, let's see here. I think there's one thing I haven't covered, and that is where this bell is. So, I've been, for those of you who don't, by the way, I've been teasing like bits and pieces of this on my Instagram profile. It's called Tricoronicle. That's the name of the handle. I've been teasing bits and pieces of the world prior to releasing this video. Not revealing too much, of course, because, you know, again, like I wanted to cover everything in this one video, right? And yeah, there's just so much stuff. To just, oh my god, there's just way too much stuff, man. Like, I mean, the world is lagging, which is to tell you how bad it really is. But you know, for 4 years, not too bad, huh? Not too bad. But yeah, this is my sugarcane farm, as you guys just saw, and I made some paper. I might actually make some maps, but I think, I don't know. I made paper for something. It might have been for books. Not entirely sure, but yeah, I made some of that. That's pretty much where I grow that. Here. And I'm sure you guys can see a lot of things that's going on. It's like, what the heck is going on right now? Here is my potato farm. We're just gonna again taking things one at a time. You know, we're not rushing things. This is my potato farm. Got a lot of potatoes in the chest here. I'm always having to plan to regrow them. What I wanted to do originally was I wanted to do an automatic farm, but I'm not sure I might actually do that anymore. I mean, I think it's fun to do it bit by bit, but it's just that it takes forever. It takes absolutely forever. It just takes ages to regrow, or not to regrow. I mean, regrowing it is no problem, but having to replant everything is just it's such a pain. I haven't even been using it for food or anything, but I might have to eventually. But basically, the potato farm started out as this small area, like it started up to this fence, and then I decided to expand it a little bit because, well, I was getting too much potatoes. Basically, just it had way too many potatoes over here, so I had to use some of them to make an extra farm, and I might even make it bigger. I might expand it a little bit on here. But this is my potato farm. This is where I grow some of my provisions. Or down here, I'm pretty sure it's from, maybe it's this exact spot, maybe it's not, I'm not entirely sure, but right over here, this is my carrot farm, and also melons. So this is where I can go here. I usually just go here, and where I grow, this is where I grow the carrots. You know, I'm not exactly a vegetarian, but I just think it's I think it's a nice hobby to just grow stuff. You know, do a little bit of farming. Is where I pretty much do all of that, and as you can see, there's just way too much stuff going on here. I have to do all the replanting by myself, but it's just that the problem is I couldn't really regrow all of this stuff. The problem is, because I already built this farm and all of these farms, I'm not sure how I'm gonna automate them. That's the problem. I would have to like either rebuild it from scratch or make some minor modifications to it in order to get it to have the effect that I want to do. But I'm pretty sure that this is I have to do pretty much all of the, you know, all of the replanting and everything by hand. So that's why there's so much here. I'm not really gonna bother with the melons, but yeah. Okay, so that pretty much covers that. And also, this structure did not look like this originally. This was what it used to look like before, and I think I might even have some pictures of it, of what it used to look like. But what this looked like before was, it wasn't covered entirely in fences. It was just one fence, and I decided to cover it afterwards. I only made the last-minute decision to cover it afterwards, just because of how... what is it? It's like I made the decision to cover it afterwards, just so that, you know, like in case, because things can spawn out there, you know, like it's not an entirely secure world that I have. I was thinking about building up some walls and stuff, but I wouldn't go too much into what I plan to do. But basically, there are mobs that sometimes spawn around here, and it's like they can break down the doors, yes, but sometimes there will be skeletons and they will be trying to shoot me and stuff, and phantoms will spawn. So I covered it entirely, and they were such a bother, so that's why I made that last minute decision. Now actually, I think, can I turn it back to, oh, it keeps going back to 16 for some reason. That's a little strange. I'm not sure why it keeps doing that. It's probably as I'm recording, and I don't know if it's messing around with any video settings or what, but anyway, well, whatever. So that pretty much covers it for the farms. The only one that I didn't cover is the wheat farm, and well, also the cows. But you know, I mean, it's just I wanted to expand this a little further, and this is obviously where I go to kill cows to get leather and also meat. I mean, I have multiple sources for meat, so it's not really a big deal. But usually I come here for steak. You know, it just as an extra source of food. I don't always kill cows here, but most of the time I do. I mostly prefer my meat to be steak, because, well, I don't really get steak very often in the real world. I do eat hamburgers, that's for sure, but yeah, I mean, that's different. That's not really steak, is it? But yeah, it's like I do come here to kill cows to cook up their meat and get steak or beef or whatever. So yeah, that pretty much does it for that. And there's also, I believe there's this wheat farm. Now this, what the structure that you see over here, and I think I'm actually, while I'm here, I'll show you guys. But originally, this was not just a sugarcane farm. This was actually a wheat and sugarcane farm. So on the left side, whenever you first enter, that's on the left whenever you enter, there was wheat over here. And there was the sugarcane over here, and this was, it pretty much looks exactly like how it looks, but the problem is that I had so much wheat. I was just like replanting and just, you know, like planting, replanting, and just harvesting, that's the word, harvesting and reharvesting the wheat, and I had so much just gather up in the chest that I was like, yo, like this is not enough space. So eventually I just converted this into the sugarcane farm, and pretty much turned that into the wheat farm that you see there. I'll show you guys a little bit of that as we go along, and this is what it looks like directly underneath the straw hat. But down here, you know, the reason that I built this, by the way, is because of the phantoms. So the phantoms will spawn here, and you know, they might come here, and I might just come up here and just have an easier time just swinging my sword at them. So yeah, that makes things pretty much easier. It's also just to make it look pretty nice, because again, it's a medieval themed world. You know, I try to keep everything medieval based except for some of the stuff that you guys see in the video here. But the building has pretty much remained untouched from the start. I mean, I haven't really done anything. The only changes that I've made, as far as I'm concerned, is this shelter. Like, I added this these cobblestone fences here, just to kind of modernize it or make it look a little fancy. But there it is. And so, well, we have the church over here, and right next to the church is the cross of Jesus Christ. Yeah, because you know, we gotta put respect on my guy's name, bro. That's the Lord right there. Here, if we go past these trees, this is the wheat farm, as you guys can see, and well, hopefully no phantoms should spawn, but well, I don't know if zombies and other mobs will be coming after me, but yeah, I just have a hecking lot of wheat, and eventually I had way more than this before, but I always have to use the wheat to feed it to the cows and also to the sheep, and I think I also use it to make bread occasionally, but I don't really use it to make a ton of bread. Not really all the time. I mostly just kill cows and stuff, but occasionally I do use it as a source of food in case I'm on an emergency or something. But usually I just use meat because it gives the most health or something aside from golden apples. But what this started out as was it started out just by me placing wheat and occasionally putting like sort of water in a way. If you guys can see it, it's like I'm just sneaking around here so I don't trample my crops. But I put a single block of water in certain spots, and I can hear a spider, which means that or actually, is it a spider? I'm not sure if it's a spider or if it's just water, but sometimes mobs can spawn and come up to me. So anyway, yeah. God, I forgot what I was gonna say. There's just so much to cover. Yeah, I just kept. I just placed I used a stone hoe or an iron hoe or something, and just sort of harvested the area, and put little spots of water here, and just pretty much put all of the seeds. And well, you guys should see how many seeds I have. This is how much I have. It's like an entire chest. I need to make another one right next to it. I was actually gonna do that, but I forgot to. But yeah, I don't nearly have enough as wheat as much as I thought I would, because well, I'm always using wheat to once again feed these guys and breed them and stuff. But the reason for this cobblestone thing is because, well, I know that I can like sneak around and not trample it, and I do, but I think it's much quicker to just, you know, like go in here, close the door, and then just walk along this path. And then what I usually do is just this. That's pretty much just what I do. I just stand over here, you know, aim, and if I can't reach something, then I would usually like sneak and then go close to it. But this is pretty much what I do, and I'm gonna have to replant all of this now that I'm showing you an example. But that's basically what I do. I don't really think I need to show you the entire thing. I mean, it's mostly been there. I put these torches there on purpose just to get a little light, because, you know, just in case things spawn. Not that they would, but, you know, you have to take precautions wherever you can. I might even expand this farm. I don't know yet, but so far this is just the biggest that I can build it, because, well, what I'm about to show you down there is there's a reason why I can't actually expand this further. But I'm just gonna put these away just so that, you know, we have that. Okay, I might have to replant it later. I'll replant it later. Don't worry, it'll be fine. I'm just kind of in a rush right now because we're already over time. But I got to cover as much. There's just a lot of things I got to cover and have explanations for, just so that, you know, like there's everything that you see in this world has a story to it, and you know, that's the reason why I'm spending so much time doing this. You know, but here, you know, right next to the carrot and melon farm, this is well, what I put over here is I put a sign that says, remember to put stairs here for alternative directions. Kind of similar to what you saw on the other side. Yeah, that's what I plan to do. I might just build something like this on this area, so that instead of having to walk up here and then go that direction, I can just put a staircase here and just do that. You know, it's just, I don't know. Most of this world is primarily based on laziness. Let's just say that. Like, most of the builds here is just pure laziness. But here we have my mob farm. I called it a pharmacy, you know, because I do love my puns. There were some caves around here as well, but those are just, they're not really as important. And here, what I do is I have the bed over here just in case I want to farm some XP. I've died many times, by the way. Like, there were times that I got like 25 and 30 experience and stuff like that, and I decided what I would do is, you can't put beds to spawn next to the farm, so what I had to do is I had to dig out this specific area, specifically for that purpose of putting the bed over here. Basically, if I'm like nearby and I feel like I'm having any semblance of danger, I would just come down here, close the door, and then I would just sleep over here. It also works as a respawn point if, for whatever reason, because it's just a lot closer to a lot of the structures that I'm doing. So yeah, there's that, and also, yeah, like as you can see, there's zombies that are well, actually I think it's in here, but this is where the pharmacy is, or the mob farm. And what I did was there was an above ground spawner, somewhat. I'm not sure if you would call it above ground or underground, that just happened to be near here. And this was actually established early on in the world, actually. Yeah, this was established really early on in the world, and like as of 1.16. So like this has existed pretty much forever. It hasn't always looked like this, but it has always been here. And what I decided to do was I just built a wall around it. I just kind of, I think it was a lot smaller than this originally, but I had to space it out just so that it makes more room for the zombies to spawn. And, well, this was kind of like a cave system almost. I mean, it wasn't really anything special, and for some reason this is here. Not sure why I put that there, but, or maybe I did put it there. Maybe it was an Enderman or something. You know what? I'll just leave it there as a gift. But yeah, this was just a small cave system. It was mainly just the dungeon here. Once again, this was in 1.16, so the world was entirely generated, and this also generated with the world. And it just so happened to be right where my house is, which is my spawn point. So what I did was I just put some... I had to kind of look up a guide for this, but basically I dug a space around it, around the spawner, and then I had some buckets of water that I had to collect and then put them down here. And what I had to do is I had to knock out some of the torches that I mean, there usually aren't torches here, but sometimes when I don't want to, when I want to prevent them from spawning, I have to knock them out. So, but there you can see you can barely see, if I just knock this out a little bit, actually, you can see it. There's some signs that I put here so that, you know, it sort of, because there's water that's leading back into that hole that you see that zombie is at. So that's why I had to put it there. I had to look up a guide for this, but, you know, it's, as you can imagine, everything takes forever in this world to build, so it did take some time, but, yeah, that's pretty much what I had to do. I also had to, I made it, the mob farm for the, I made the mob farm with the intent of also like making sure that like things like torches were far away, so like it's behind the walls rather than, you know, like, so if there's like a source of light that's coming through this window, because I have to see the zombies to make sure that they're spawning, but basically, you know, to prevent some light from coming through there, I had to, you know, knock out a couple torches and distance them, so that's why this torch is far away, but why this one is behind a wall and stuff like that. So they spawn fairly frequently, but they only spawn whenever it is that I'm close to them. So, well, actually I don't, what I usually do is I have a chest over here, which you guys saw earlier, and I have some stone swords. I pretty much just, you know, take the stone sword instead of having to waste my diamond or current equipment and just wail away at them. And it's really loud and annoying in the video, so probably gonna cut it down unless I turn the audio up. I don't really know yet, but I pretty much just stand here. I could obviously do it so that's you know, like I can obviously convert it into something where it just leads them into the hole over here and then have them fall, and then I can just one tap them. But I mean, pretty much like that's what I do the entire time, and you know, occasionally I do get drops because it is hard mode, so yeah, occasionally it will spawn stuff. I don't know if it actually spawns mobs with armor though. That's the only thing I don't know if it does that, but either way, let's see here. So is there anything else I need to cover here? Not really. I mean, it's pretty much just that. Alright, so now we're getting into the big stuff. So as you can see, I'm sure that you've watched the video. Like some of you who noticed would probably notice, but for all of you youths out there who don't know what this is, I don't know how you can. I mean, it's just, I don't know how you really cannot. But this is Super Mario, and I pretty much built him using the wool that I harvested from the sheep, from the farm, the sheep farm that I have over there. This took a lot of building. This took several hours. I think I was able to actually do it in a single day, but it did take a long time to do. Now, this isn't even completed because, well, as you can see, I used dirt, and, well, dirt is not really... The problem with using dirt is that it regrows in the sunlight and in the rain and everything. It regrows into grass, so this would eventually become a grass block if it's not directly under it, I think. I think it has to be directly under it or something for it to regrow, but... that's the main reason why it is I use that, but eventually I'll replace... I just use dirt as a sort of a placeholder for the time being because it's brown, so it looks pretty good, but it's not even nearly completed, so I will be replacing the dirt with wood eventually, like a darker type of wood, but it's pretty much based on the original model of Super Mario from... I believe it's the original Super Mario Brothers pixel art from 1985. Now, it doesn't use the exact colors. I just thought I would modernize it a little bit. It's based on the picture that... Well, you know what? Just so that I don't risk Nintendo copy striking me, I'm probably not going to show it. Although they're probably going to strike this video down like a bunch of idiots, like they are. You know, I grew up on a... You know... Nintendo was just a huge part of my childhood, and, you know, I just... It was such a huge part of my childhood. I grew up with the Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo DS especially, and, you know, I don't really play on these consoles anymore because, I mean, my interests have shifted over the years, but I still have some love for Nintendo. You know, their business practices are another thing, but... I have a whole lot of love and just nostalgia and just, you know, like nothing compares to whenever it is that you play a Nintendo game compared to when you play other games, you know. Growing up when Nintendo was just a huge part of what I did, you know, one of my first videos actually on this very channel that you're watching right now, before I deleted it, was a Super Mario Brothers Brawl. It was literally just me recording with my camera in my house in a living room, just recording a replay of me just playing Brawl. Well, I never had a Wii U or anything like that, so and I grew up with Nintendo fairly late. I think I recorded the video in 2015, so like by that time the Wii was already outdated, but it was still fairly standard because the Wii U, you know, everyone hated the Wii U for whatever reason at that time, and Xbox One and PlayStation 4 were pretty much the standard for gaming at that time, but I didn't really know that, you know, because I was still growing up. I was still attending primary school. I hadn't even attended high school, and a lot of things hadn't happened, which I wouldn't go into that. But yeah, it was just such an influential part of my childhood. It all started from when it is that I was watching, what is it, Sugar Conroy and Stephen Plays play, and also the Runaway guys play I think it was Super Mario Brothers Wii, or New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and Super Smash Brothers Brawl, and then it moved on to Wii U, and, you know, a bunch of other Mario games. It sort of started off from that. Also Super Mario 64 DS. So this was just my tribute to Mario because, you know, like it really, you know, at the end of the day, you know, especially for the new generation with the movie and everything releasing, like, and how amazing that was, and everyone knows how amazing that movie was. I went to the cinema last year or something when it released with my dad to watch the movie, and it was amazing. Like, it was just, I loved it so much. But it's like, so even for the new generation, you know, Mario, I bet Mario means a lot to the people even today, so I'm sure that people are familiar with it. I'm not sure if people are familiar with the pixel art, which is why I thought I would bring it up, but yeah, this isn't even completed, and well, as you can see, it's made entirely out of mostly out of wool and wood. So what I had to do was I had to be like, okay, well, there's the lightning rod that's on top of that cross over there, so that pretty much should cover it, but just in case that lightning strikes nearby and for whatever reason it hits it, that's why I pretty much built this structure. And at the top of the structure which is spirally, if we go to the top of this, and well, actually, it'll probably just run the video over time if I bother to do it. But basically, at the top of this spirally structure, and there's torches that are placed at the side of it to light up at night. But you know, at the very top of it, as you can imagine, there's a lightning rod over there, and it's made out of cobblestone, so it wouldn't ever set on fire. So if lightning strikes near the Super Mario pixel art, it'll just like strike it. So but yeah, Nintendo, if you're watching, hopefully you don't take this down. Please do not copy strike my video, please. Just, I'm really praying, because Nintendo can be a bunch of douchebags when it comes to their business making decisions. They can make some really questionable things. But yeah, hopefully it should not, because it's not like, you know, this is their game or anything. You can literally just do that. Plus, Nintendo works, they do collaborations with Mojang, so I don't imagine them actually doing it, but just in case they do, please, Nintendo, don't do that. Anyway, so I pretty much covered everything that there is to here. I could go out into the distance and cover the villages as well, but like, that's just going to take forever, and the video is already running too long, so I think the last couple things I want to show you guys in this video is just a few things, actually. So, as you can see, you guys who've probably caught it, but if you've been watching my Dark Souls videos, you know that I make a lot of references to Berserk. Berserk is it's a manga that was created by Kentaro Miura back in the day, and well, obviously that should be pretty obvious considering how long it's been around. But Dark Souls was inspired by, was heavily inspired by Berserk, as well as other media. And you know, it's not like it's just Berserk, but it's heavily inspired by Berserk. And I gotta tell you, it's like, it's, I mean, Berserk just had such a, it had such a big impact on my life whenever it is I first started reading it. Now, when I first started reading it was, I think, the year either 2021 or 22, and then Kentaro Miura had already passed away when it is that, well, he was still alive by the time I started actually reading it, so the first 16 chapters of the manga, he was already alive. And then I just kind of, well, the first 16 chapters pretty much just covered the Black Swordsman arc. So he was alive at that time, and then after that, shortly after that, he passed away, and that was when, you know, like, I felt so guilty for not reading the manga, you know, like, it's just not reading it entirely at that point. So I felt like I took it for granted, and that's when I started reading it, and it really, especially at a tough time in my life that I was going through, you know, the pandemic, and just a whole slew of other things like depression I was just going through, and Berserk had such an influence in my life, and I just can't thank him enough. I think even in some of my even in some of my Roblox games, I paid tribute to Kentaro Miura by I don't know why I'm calling him Kentaro Miura, but basically I paid tribute to Miura. And I think even the creators of this resource pack created a splash called with a text called "Thank you, Kentaro Miura," which I was actually pretty shocked, because I don't think I actually saw that splash before when I was playing Minecraft. So I'm not sure if that's the thing in the vanilla game. I would be even more impressed if it is that the creators of Minecraft added that officially. But you know, I think it's the creators of this specific resource pack, because it is a let me just show you real quick. It is a resource pack that is Excalibur here, and it's purely based on or themed around medieval. I also have the other stuff here in case you're wondering about that, but it's not really important. But yeah, it's just man, it's just, there's so much you guys can't even begin to like, for the people who read it, you know, if you're under the age of 18, I obviously don't recommend you read that series, because it's not it's not for the faint of heart. It's not even for people who are over the age of 18. I mean, if you're just the type of person to be triggered by, you know, gore and just dark horror and like that sort of thing, do not read it. Trust me, do not read it if it is that you're not, if it is you get triggered by those things. But if you are able to handle that sort of stuff, Berserk had such a massive influence on me, and it still has a massive influence, and I thought that what better way to pay tribute than building the Dragon Slayer. If anything, I might build some more Berserk structures in the future. I don't know yet, but for right now, and also, well, Nintendo is Japanese, One Piece is Japanese, Berserk is Japanese, so it's like my world right now is surrounded mostly by Japanese media. But trust me, I'll probably build some more Western stuff in the future. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But right now, these are just the main things. And well, this Dragon Slayer. The story behind this is that it's not even completed, by the way. I mean, it looks completed. It might look good as it is right now, but it's not even completed. There's also what I wanted to do before I even considered recording this video, and I had to really think about it. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to put like a piece of string over there, but it's just that collecting the wool takes so much time and effort to go through, and I was just getting really impatient. I just wanted to show you guys how the world really looks like this soon. By the time that this video releases, a lot probably would have already changed, and you know, I mean, I don't know how much I'll update the world after this, but I felt like now would be a really good time to do it. And you know, like I wanted to put like a piece of string down there just to kind of make it look like it's blowing in the wind. I don't know if I'll make that bigger or if I'll just leave it like that, but yeah, so like I just kind of based it off of that. And well, I mean, it's not complete, and the reason that it's not completed is also because you'll notice that if I just go behind here very quickly, as you can see, there's torches that are behind it. And what I wanted to do originally was I wanted to put like tombstones or something around here, but then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna change my mind and put the Dragon Slayer here over here. I might still put tombstones just to pay respects to well, I mean, this is kind of a spoiler, but basically, so if you're reading the manga, just kind of mute this part for a few seconds. But basically, like, there was the Band of the Falcon, who basically died in the series, and yeah, that's I mean, what better way to pay respects to them but probably put some graves, you know? I mean, I don't really know how much I'm gonna put, but or if I'm even gonna put them, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, like that basically happened, and I thought about putting some graves over there, but anyway. So that pretty much covers it for that. The reason that it's not completed, like I showed you, on the back of it there's torches. I want to sort of make it 3D, like 3-dimensional, because, you know, Minecraft is already a 3D game, but like this looks more like pixel art. I want to turn it into an actual Dragon Slayer if I can. And what I mean by that is, like, I want to make it like 2-layered or 3-layered in front of it, because right now it just looks really flat, and I don't really like. I mean, I like how it looks, but right now it just looks like pixel art. I want to turn it into something that's actually solid looking, if you get my vibe. So yeah. Also, well, I'm sure you guys can tell, but you know, the bricks that I used earlier, I used to do that, and there's some lanterns here. I might actually put some more lanterns up in the world, because I put the lanterns over at the chicken coop or the chicken farm or whatever, and I also put it in the front here as well. So this is how I entered the house, pretty much. There's also some redstone under here, which is how. Let me just show you guys really quickly. Like, whenever it is I go through the door, there is some redstone that's under here. Let me see if I can knock this out perfectly. No, I can't. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, there is some redstone contraptions under here. Oh crap! I gotta actually. God damn it! This is the problem with. This is why I didn't want to mine that block out. But yeah. Pretty much, it took some time to actually figure that out by myself, but yeah, I had to place it in this way. I think it originally started out over here, and I just had to run really fast, but thankfully I found a way to make it work like this, and it's pretty much just that this one pressure plate just, you know, do that. I wanted to do some more redstone things, like I said earlier. Like, I wanted to make some more automated redstone stuff, but and I have so much redstone that I just happen to not be using, but I don't know, it's just that I don't know anything about redstone, man. I know a lot about technology, but I don't know a damn thing about redstone. It's really sad. Well, this is just a campfire. I used some bone meals to kind of make it look kind of pretty over here. This was not here originally. There was a farm that was actually over here. I think it was a sweet berry bush or sweet berry bush. I think it was like a sweet berry farm or something like that. Like, there were several around here when I first created the world. So this was not here originally, not in 1.16. But yeah, there was that. Also, in case you're wondering, whenever I was in the middle of building this Dragon Slayer, man, I mean, whenever I was in the middle of building this thing, by the way, there's a lightning rod on top of that, in case you're wondering, so whenever lightning strikes, it does, it will actually do that. It's also like, probably the highest, probably the tallest structure I built so far, like even taller than that. So whenever lightning strikes, it'll probably go over there as well. But basically, you know, like building this thing actually took several in real life days to build. It probably took like 2 days, 3 days. I don't really know how long it took, but it's just because again, collecting wool takes forever. It takes a lot of time to do, and not to mention, well, I fell off once or twice trying to build this thing, and that's why there's that, you know, little pond of water that's over there, so that whenever I'm scaffolding, I can just jump off and land safely. But yeah, man, it's just it took forever to build, and it's not even completed. The only reason why, and the string is a recent addition, but the only reason I'm not really bothering to complete it right now is just because it takes so much time. Like I would rather spend my time being a little more productive with other things, especially because I got to record Dark Souls, especially. Yeah, I got to make sure I prepare those videos in time as well. So I would rather spend that time being more productive and getting other things done than to just focusing on one build. Like, I mean, the Super Mario pixel art is what I immediately worked on after this, so as well as the spirally structure over there. And as you can see, like, everything looks so good from a distance. Like, if I let me just show you guys in case you haven't seen it yet. Just hope no mobs spawn in the area. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It's pretty sick, isn't it? It's pretty sick. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of influences that I have in my life that I would really like to build structures out of. I think it'll look really cool. But anyway, let's travel along this way, and I think that this might be the last thing that I show you guys. Or actually, no, wait. There is one more thing before that. If we go down here, now this down here was naturally generated. You know, you can type in the seed if it is I ever do show a seed. I mean, I don't think I ever will. Maybe not. Who knows? But this was naturally generated, but there are some modifications that I made to it. I also used some of the sand that was over here to, you know, for collecting purposes. And but this under here was sort of like a secret little thing that I made. So it's a little hole with a boat next to it. It's like an underground dock. I thought it would be pretty cool to do it. What I initially wanted to do, and I'm not sure if I'll still do this or if it'll just take way too much time, is I wanted to make this into like sort of a river and just kind of flow down the river. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, it just might take forever. Who really knows? I don't even know if I have the time for that sort of stuff anymore. But I thought it would be really cool to do an underground dock, and it's sort of open. It's in the open a little bit. So like if I'm running away from a mob or something, and you know, I want to get it's like I want to sleep very quickly, or I'm running away from phantoms or something, and I feel like I'm in I have any sense of danger, I can just run in here. And it is open, so it's not exactly fully secured, but I mean that's on purpose. It's also below this bit of dirt here, as you can see. But it's a little dock, you know. I thought that it'll look pretty cool to do this, and well, this is not naturally generated, but this lava down here that you see that I'm pointing at is naturally generated. This is something that I discovered just by mining a hole. I can't remember how exactly I did it, but it's like I just sort of dug a hole under this thing, and then I think as I wanted to expand it, there was just lava over here, and I was like, oh, you know what would be really cool? What if I put some cobblestone around here and just made it look like a dungeon, or sort of like a blacksmith station, or you know how it looks in medieval times, like something like that. And blacksmiths used a lot of lava, I think, you know, like a lot of heat to smelt their stuff. So I thought it would be really cool to make it like into a blacksmith station. The only thing is that it doesn't have an anvil, but maybe I'll add one soon, who knows. But yeah, I just grabbed buckets of lava and then put it in over here, and then just put some glass blocks. Thought it would look really cool. I also have an orange bed, which well, you can imagine why it is I did this, but pretty much to match with the lava. I feel like that goes, that's self-explanatory, but yeah. Okay, so let's get out of here. Now, the story behind this bridge is pretty much, once again, like I said earlier in the video, a lot of what I do in this world has to do with laziness. So, yeah, whenever the world was first generated, none of this stuff was here. It was mostly just, you know, a bunch of land and this small river lake thing. I always had to like travel back and forth and then just swim past this or walk past it. And I was just like, you know, I'm just really sick and tired of having to do that. So why not just build a bridge that connected over here? So it originally just started out as a simple bridge, you know, just a simple wooden bridge just going over here, and then it had the wooden structures, and then I decided, you know what, let's decorate it with some pillars. So that's kind of pretty much the story behind that. It's nothing really special. It's just, you know, the reason why I put the cobblestone on the top is because lightning can strike it, and I also thought it would be pretty cool. Again, wood is pretty it's very flammable. So yeah, that's why I did that. Also, if I come from this like that direction, because again, you do see something over there in that direction. If it is that I'm coming from this direction, I want to make sure that you know, on top of the land at least, I want to make sure that there's multiple ways that I can go from. So if I'm going from that direction and I go there, you can see that's what that staircase is there for. And if you see, if I'm going from this direction, it's this one. So yeah, pretty much most of this world is based on just pure laziness. I just built everything to mostly be interconnected with each other, which I think is pretty cool. You don't have to if you don't want to. I mean, it's my world. I mean, you build the world however you like. It's Minecraft. I mean, that's the good thing about Minecraft. Now this thing over here, I built this also as a sense of laziness, but also like it makes it easier for me to, instead of just, well, this wasn't here originally. It was just a bunch of dirt or grass. It was just a normal hill, and I just decided to convert it into stairs because, well, you know, instead of having to, because I don't have auto jump on. I usually don't turn that on because this is the Java version of the game. So like I just instead of having to hop up here and then hop up here and then just jump up block by block by block, I thought it would be just way faster to just walk up here. Now this here is actually a late addition to the game. It was a work in progress at the time that I was working on it, and it's still kind of a work in progress because it's not even done yet. What I plan to do is I plan to put mine rails down here, or sorry, is it mine rails or just rails? I don't really know. Anyway, I plan to put some stuff down here, but it's not complete. So the reason that I built this entire thing actually has to do with the fact that, well, I made a video of me, if you guys recall, for those of you who've been keeping up with the channel, I made a video where I was, whenever I first teased this world after exploring the caves, I traveled back on land, and at the night, whenever it was just approaching nighttime, and well, that's when you saw the giant straw hat, right? But that was, I mean, some time has passed since making that video, and as you can see, there's a lot more stuff than there was before, right? So yeah, there was a lot of stuff. What I decided to do is later on in the game, I decided, you know what, because it's not really as secure to travel at night, because I always keep the world on hard mode, so like wherever it is I go, I mean, the mobs are always gonna spawn, right? So I always keep it on hard mode, but I decided to make this so that, you know, like whenever it's night, mobs will spawn on the top of, basically they'll spawn on the surface, and I don't want to have to deal with that 100% of the time. I mean, I do get experience from it, but I don't always want to deal with it, and it also is just a waste of time and just energy and effort. So I built this underground thing, and well, pretty much it's just I just dug out the underground here. Again, it's not complete, and you can see that there's like it's if I just dig this out very quickly, yeah, it's like some parts are literally like one block short, so that's why there's water dripping from there, because it's raining right now. And well, some parts I think I kept mining this way or something, and then I don't know. I think I just after I learned that it was very close to the surface, I decided to mine down a little bit. So now it's underground for sure. And then I hit whenever I dug over here, it just hit this random like cave or pocket or something. And then I just put a sign up over here that says haha funny random thing, because I was just digging straight, and my original plan was just to dig straight, but I decided to dig around it because it's just that this random patch of water was here along with the stone, and it's like, I don't know if it's part of a cave system or what, but I don't really care about that. So then I had to dig around it, and like I said, there are some mine rails that I'm going to put around here. So when we come up here, there's this little house here, and I put some glass so I can make sure it's safe before. I can make sure it's safe just in case any mobs run around. But usually, if it's like nighttime or something, I usually shift around here and just look around carefully. And well, yeah, this pretty much takes us to the structure over here, and it's a lot faster. In my opinion, it's a lot faster than traveling by land, even if that's not necessarily true. But I think it's much faster, especially at night, where you don't have to deal with the mobs and everything. Now this thing here, this structure, I guess I can show you the outside of it while I'm here. Also, like, you guys can see what it looks like a little bit from the distance. But yeah, like this structure, I mean, I haven't really focused too much on it. It's just, I mean, it's just a cobblestone structure that I just decided to build, and I thought I would make it look nice because, well, you know, it's here. Also to help notice it from a distance in case I'm far away or something. Like especially my house. I was thinking about turning it into my base, but I honestly don't know. I really don't think I'll do that anymore. I feel like I've worked too hard and I've done way too much at the other side to not do it. So yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like. And this is where I did that teaser for that video where the caves were generated in 1.16, and I believe it's down this stairs. Pretty sure this is where the old, yeah, this has got to be where it is. Like this is a cave that was generated in 1.16, and pretty much well, oh god. Yeah, this was the world that was generated in 1.16, and the OST started to play around here in the video. So that's when it is I started to record it, because well, I mean, I rarely get to hear that part of the soundtrack, especially. But yeah, this is this cave was generated in 1.16, and eventually I converted to 1.20, and that's when I made that video with the texture pack and everything. I think, unless I forgot to put the texture pack, but anyway. I mean, I pretty much did that, and yeah, this is exactly where it was located. I'm not gonna go. I don't really think there's any reason to go back to the house, but if I do go through this door, this is, in case you're curious, in case you were wondering what it looked like from here. This is sort of just leads back into the cave. It's nothing special, you know. I was thinking about putting some stairs to cover it, but basically you can see that it's turning night, and this is where I did the sneak peek for that video. Like if you recall, I can probably show a quick clip of that, if anything. And this is pretty much what it looked exactly like, minus the Dragon Slayer, because I hadn't built that yet, and the Super Mario pixel art and everything. And mobs would usually spawn here, so that's why I built that underground system. So, well, I'm not going to go back now, because it's just, I'm already here, so, but, well, I showed you guys already, so, I mean, it's just to travel back and forth, right underground here if it is that I want to come back safely. So, yeah, I never really have any issues. I would very much like to avoid mobs wherever I can. Of course, I'm going to kill them if I want to get XP and drops and, you know, what have you, but yeah, anyway, I think that pretty much covers it for this video. I mean, I feel like that pretty much covers it. There's over here, there's kind of like a tree farm. I plant some of this is where I sometimes plant saplings for, you know, whether it's like oak or birch or spruce, you know, dark oak, stuff like that. This is where I plant it. So it's kind of like a tree garden. When I first started this world, there was some. This land was, well, it was mostly just a little hill. It was just a small landscape here, and I dug it out with an iron shovel, and that's how it gained this structure. I mean, I might dig it out further than that, or I might just leave it as it is. I don't really know yet, but once again, world is not complete. This is just 4 years of progress that we've made. I mean, not 4 straight years, but anyway. Yeah, I mean, I think I pretty much covered everything there is. Like, everything that I worked on so far. I mean, it's just, maybe the video did not need to run so long. If so, I apologize. But it's just that I've been doing so much commentary lately that it's just, you know, I want to make sure I explain everything in detail, so that's why I'm talking a lot. That's why I'm just talking nonstop. So I apologize for the video running on a little too long, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I could have gone into creative mode and just explained things bit by bit, but, you know, I just wanted to showcase it in the survival mode. I mean, it is a survival world, after all, so... Anyway, I'll probably definitely be working on some sort of pig farm. I wouldn't be killing this one, though. Just saying. Just so we're clear. I will not be killing Technoblade. Especially because, you know, well, it's mainly serves as a tribute. So, right now, Technoblade will live on as my son in my own survival world. It's just... it's not like he's my biological son, obviously, because, I mean, what the heck? A 20-year-old getting birth from a 20-year-old, which is just... plain weird and disgusting, and I don't even want to... well, let's just stop the discussion, okay? It's weird, okay? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll definitely be making more. Once again, by the time this video releases, some things may have changed. Probably a whole not... damn it, I'm screwing up my words. Probably not a whole lot might change by the time that this video releases. And that's mainly because, like, I'm really taking my time whenever it comes to building stuff. So, like, you guys, like, if I do happen to make a video after this, please do not expect anything to change. Also, don't expect it to run as long as it did this time. But I thought that because I have to show off everything the first time, that I would take some time to explain it. So, yeah. But, yeah, anyways, like, once again, everything has a story, and I wanted to try to cover every single thing that I can in this video. I mean, I had to, unfortunately, I had to, like, some things that I wanted to show off, namely that spirally structure, like there being a lightning rod on top of it. I mean, there really isn't much to show with it, which is why I didn't bother to jump on it. But if I had a bit of extra time, I would jump up there or fly up there in creative mode, in a backup or something. I'll probably go into creative and just show you what it is I did up there. But every single thing that you see has been done in survival mode. I didn't spawn any resources or, you know, like spawn any enchantments or anything. Everything is done by hand. You know, like for years in most of my old survival worlds, which by now are deleted, which is really unfortunate, but I always, prior to Landa, I was always creating a new world, and then after I made some progress, I would just delete it after that, which I don't know why I did, but I had so many worlds back then that, you know, I can't recover them anymore because it's too late, you know. But I had so many survival worlds that I wish I had backed up. Landa is the first survival world, or actually the second survival world that I decided to back up. The first one wasn't really a survival world because I actually cheat a lot in it. So, and that was also created the same year as this one, by the way. But I cheat a lot in that world, and I was like, you know, let's just make a new one. Forget about that other one. I do still have it backed up. I think it was created in version 1.16 or 13. I honestly can't remember. But for some reason, I created it in one of those versions, and like, I decided to back it up because, well, you know, it's, I mean, it's an old relic, but I don't play in it as much anymore, and I did cheat in it, so, anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about that one just yet. Yeah, every single thing that you see, from the farms to the pixel art, was done in survival mode. You know, I fell many times, I died many times, in attempts to actually build some of these things, actually, but yeah, anyway. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. This video has dragged on super long. Once again, I apologize. I really did not think that the video would go on this long. I was just honestly hoping to cover things briefly, but you know, I had to spend a lot of time explaining everything and just talking about, you know, spend time talking about other things. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to updating you guys on you know, the other changes that happen in the later videos, and they might even be shorter videos. If anything, if I have to recap everything, because this is such a long one, and I know that people don't really like watching long videos because their attention spans are shortened thanks to a certain app that steals, you know, red and blue colors, which are, you know, 3D glasses, let's just say that. Yeah, so because I know that people don't really like long videos and stuff, and I was hoping that this would be a shorter one, but considering that most of the videos on my channel are like basically hours long of content anyways, well, I hope that people actually watch through this. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. There's just I know that it's been dragging out for way too long. I'll keep you guys updated on everything that happens. I know that for the 2 hours that I've been showing here, I could have shown a whole lot more, and I'm sorry to disappoint you if you expected a lot more, but this is just what I've been working on in the past 4 years, whenever it is in my free time, whenever I had time to work on it. By the time this video releases, some progress should have been made. I'm not exactly in a rush to make another video after this, especially because I wanted this one to be such a big deal, but hopefully the next video that I make is going to have a lot more stuff in it, and will take up a lot less time. So thank you so much for watching, and check out my other videos. I have Dark Souls videos, I have even more Minecraft videos, like teasers and everything before this, that you guys can check out. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and as the sun rises, I'll see you guys later.